What's going on, everyone? This is Freddie Henderson from the All Sports All Plays Network. This is Just Say the Truth. As you guys can see, Jonathan's not right here with us right now. He got a baby duty. But right next to me, we got Tony. What's going on, Tony?
How's it going, Freddie?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Just excited for a lot of reasons that I'm about to explain. But man, just ready to get it. Then right under him, we got Mike. What's going on, Mike?
I'm still frustrated with you, Freddie, but I'm here, man. What's good with you?
Why are you frustrated me? Ladies and gentlemen, I had to put him in his place. I had to teach him something before the show even started.
We're not doing this.
Hey, I can't help that I'm that dude, But hey, right next to him, we got my guy. He goes by a good name. He just gave my attention that he's a high school coach. My guy, his name is Jay, the sports guy. What's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, man, we good. Sorry that you had to come into the show already. Me putting the cats in that place. Mike knows better. Mike's knows better. He just try to push my buttons.
Is that what we calling it?
Yeah, that's what we calling it. But let's get to it. Man. Hey, everybody, we have big things going on the network. This Sunday, we have our 1 year anniversary, show. Oh, there's Jordan right there. Jonathan. What's going on, Jonathan? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing?
All right. Yeah, like I said, this Sunday, we have our 1 year anniversary show. We also have, some big news dropping on this show as well. Big news. Like, hey, we took the next level. The next step is going to be a 6-hour show. They'll start at 5 p.m. Central and go all the way down for 6 hours straight. Then Monday, we have a big-time guest. Look on the page. Hey, it's big things coming down here at the ASAP Network. So you make sure you want to tune into that as well. So let's get it. Let's do what we came here to do. Our first topic, there was a trade this morning in the NFL world. The Rams traded for Sony Michael from the New England. Do you guys think that this makes the Rams a contender for the NFC? And do you guys think they believe there are Super Bowl contenders? I'm gonna go with Jonathan since the Rams his team.
Yes, it does. It makes them a contending team because this offense is predicated on the running game. This is where they've been successful in their running game, and they relied heavily on running backs. So I think this is a good move for the Rams. What this tells me is that they want to win now. That's what this tells me by getting a running back to replace a guy like Cam Akers, because you lost him to that torn ACL, which was a devastating blow to the Rams. So I think this not only takes pressure off of a guy like Matthew Stafford, but it also gives a creative guy like Sean McVay more options to work with as well. So I think this was a good move for the Rams, and I think what this tells me again is that they're ready to win now.
Jay, do you believe they're contenders now, or even Super Bowl contenders? I'm talking about the Rams. Now they added Michelle.
Oh, you asking me? Freddie, you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I think the Rams is definitely at NFC West division contenders, and Super Bowl contenders, because you think about it, they got a good defense behind them. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald leading the pack, so they got enough talent and the defense side that make stops. Now the offensive side, you playing with a lot of money right here because you gambling with Matthew Stafford and you bring over Sony Michel, which I think that was a great trade, actually, Jonathan. I think that was a great trade because you lost Cam Akers for the year. Henderson, he got a sprain, risk, and you got two rookies that had never been on the NFL snaps before. So I think that is a good trade. I think that's a good trade, and it puts the Rams in the driver's seat to actually win the NFC West, and actually makes them a top 3 team in the NFC.
Well, I can see that you guys have a lot of faith in the Rams. I mean, I understand that, they finally got a quarterback. Golf isn't there. They finally have a quarterback where Sean McVay don't have to worry about the connection and the helmet goes off. But, man, listen. Are they a Super Bowl contender? I mean, I understand why the question was asked, but I mean, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are there with Tom Brady. They're in the picture. They're in the conversation. They done something we've not seen ever before. They brought all key players back from that Super Bowl run back. Do I believe that they're gonna get worse? I think they're gonna get even better. Then you're talking about the Last Dance. You guys remember that the Last Dance is going down there in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and that bad man.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Don't you believe
Can
that?
I add something? Can I add something?
Go ahead.
Not to change the narrative, but the Last Dance was Michael Jordan's story about his last year after three-peating twice. What is this? The Last Dance of 4 NFC Championship losses? That's the Last Dance.
This is the Last Dance of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. This is the Last Dance of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and he's going to tap dance on him. He's going to tap dance on him this year.
It's the last time of them choking.
Oh, then you better hope your quarterback don't get killed. You look like Nagy wanted to save him.
It's all there, bro. It's all love. Yes, sir.
But like I was saying, this is going to be the last dance for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I do not believe that they're going to go out with just, a 500 team. I believe they will be one of the top teams in the NFC this year. I believe that he's going to come out there and he's going to show you guys, hey, you made a big mistake. Now I'm going to show you why you made a big mistake, and I'm going to leave you blind behinds. That's my belief. I believe they're going to do that. And then, you got my New York Giants to talk about. I mean, hey, we're relevant.
Oh, man, we just everywhere tonight.
Hey, Jay, did I say anything wrong? I mean, what did I say wrong?
You did.
Giants is not winning that division, bro.
Who winning it?
Football team.
Cowboys or the Washington football team. The Giants, Danny Dimes scares me. And I looked at their schedule. I don't see him competing against the top.
Hey, and I love Kenny Galladay, Chicago native, but that boy can't stay healthy, bro.
And then the thing,
Saquon can't stay healthy.
Did you mention the Cowboys in the same breath as the New York Giants? And did you mention the Cowboys in actually winning a division? Did you?
Oh, here we go.
Freddie, when was the last time the Giants won the division? You tell me the year.
Gee, I was probably in middle school, bro.
It don't matter. The Miami year when Odell Miami, it don't matter.
2011. That would be 10 years since y'all have won the division.
I was in middle
Dallas has since won it 3 times. Washington has won it 3 times, and Philadelphia has won it 3 times.
To all the viewers, let me give you a little bit more detail while Tony's coming at me like this. This is a Dallas Cowboy fan. He is a Dallas Cowboy fan, and so do you really want me to bring up past history? Do you really want to go there with me, Tony?
Hey, by all means, it's been 25 years since we've truly been relevant. I am never going to deny that, and I'm never going to say that we are going to win the Super Bowl. If anything, I'll argue Washington has a better chance of winning the division than we do as the Cowboys, because I don't know about our
team who have a quarterback that's going to be up one Sunday and down the other. That's real.
That's Fitzmagic, baby.
But Jameis Winston is proof. You can't throw 30 interceptions and still win the division, Danny Dimes. You can't do that.
You don't
think the Washington football can win that. The only way they win that is Prescott is not playing again. I think this Cowboys team is very stacked, and they just got to put the pieces together. I don't see Washington. Only way I see Washington football team winning the division if they defense Chase Young have a monster year.
Yeah. Most definitely.
If you telling me you believe Ryan Fitzpatrick over Dak Prescott?
No, but I do believe that Chase will, especially because Dallas's offensive line ain't nearly what it used to be.
I also really like Ron Rivera as a head coach compared to Mike McCarthy, who couldn't win with Freddie's bad man Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, he won one, so that counts.
You won one.
Ron Rivera played the best coach in the division. What are you talking about, Mike? Why?
You win the division, that's cool, bro, but you ain't gonna win nothing else.
Well, the Packers and the Bears, they play in the best division in the NFL. So week 2, I see you. Week 5, I see you. You know.
So are you kind of scared for Joe Burrow? I mean, coming back from that nasty injury. I mean,
the thing is, okay. The thing about that injury is, you gotta let it heal, and the thing, he couldn't do no extra stuff. He had to work out. So I think he's been following the protocols. He's been getting better. He's getting better each and every day. Now, Now, I think like the Green Bay Packers is the tougher matchup between the Bears because they got a nice secondary that's going to challenge.
They don't have a quarterback in Andy Dalton. Please get out of here.
We ain't worried about Andy, big dog. We ain't worried about Andy.
Justin Fields doesn't start.
Who's the New York Giants quarterback again? What has he done?
Hey, maybe I have Andy Dalton right now.
I gotta go. Listen, I try to go easy on you, man. Listen, the Giants is the most balanced team in that division. The defense was, yes, they had a top 10 defense last year. I don't expect them to get worse. I expect them to get better this year, okay? You actually put weapons around. See, people want to talk like Danny Dimes is a bad quarterback. Look at his rookie season. Look at the numbers. With a healthy Saquon. They were decent numbers. They look, okay, good. He's a rookie quarterback. You need to go up. Last year, huh?
How many division matchups he won? No, that's not Washington football team.
We beat the Cowboys, we beat the Eagles, and we beat Washington.
Yeah,
so
finally, what?
But listen what I'm trying to tell you. So now you bring in a healthy Saquon Barkley. Now you bring weapons all around him. You have Golladay, you have Tony, you have Shepard, you have Ingram, you have Kyle Rudolph with a Saquon Barkley coming back. So this dude have no other choice but to get better. Saquon Barkley is going to be a workhorse this year. So you tell me a Cowboys team?
Not.
You talking about a Cowboys team that Dak Prescott's already dealing with an injury and the season hasn't even started? You talking about a Dallas Cowboys whose defense is suspect? You talking about a Dallas Cowboys offensive line? I could run through that. I mean, stop it. I mean, pump the brakes just a touch. I mean, stop putting the disrespect on the New York Giants. And and when we win, I'm coming after all of you guys.
Okay, Freddie. Okay, let me ask you a legitimate question then. Out of just the NFC East, where would you put the Giants' offensive line? 1 through 4, where would you put it?
Number 2.
What? No.
Offensive line?
Offensive line.
Cuatro.
3. 3 at the height.
It's a young offensive line, and this year they will develop into better. They will get better, and they will come into number 2. Our Washington football team number 1, the Giants number 2.
What about the Eagles? They bringing back 3 starters.
I'm not even caring. The Eagles,
Yeah, you better care, bro. The second they get Deshaun Watson, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
The Eagles? If the Eagles get Deshaun Watson?
If they get Deshaun, bro, Freddie gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, I feel
2 times a year.
Like they're a quarterback away from probably lumping themselves into
Jalen Hurts, man.
Right?
No, I love Jalen. Don't get me wrong. I love Jalen. I just feel like they don't know what direction to go with Jalen.
I really hope he has a breakout season. I can see it.
By the way, can we free Deshaun Watson, please, if he's innocent?
I can't say that.
He's not.
Yes, you can. I keep telling you, you're not guilty until
My
you're
guy,
guilty.
I cannot say that until I have the facts, bro.
You know what?
Why can you say he's guilty? You don't know he's guilty. You don't know the facts about that.
You have to you have to take those allegations seriously, right? But that's kind of fishy to me. Something doesn't add up with that story. All of a sudden,
it's a weird situation, bro.
All these allegations against you, all of a sudden, you know.
For me, bro, it's Freddie, bro. If we were best friends, bro, and I found out some stuff like that, God forbid, ever happened to you, I'd want the best for you, bro. But I couldn't speak on that and say free my boy Freddie until I knew if it was facts or not. So I pray for him. I hope it's not true.
Hey, my mindset is
I ain't gonna go out here and say free Watson until I know what happened.
Hey, until you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
That's fact. But I ain't gonna say either side until I know.
But to stay on topic, y'all, though, I think the Rams is positioned to win their division. I had it between the Cardinals and Rams, though, but I think the Rams just got better overall, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Tony, do you agree with them, or you think they're pretenders?
No, I mean, I think they're legitimate. I mean, if you look at how Matt Stafford was with at least the 2 to 3 years that he had Jim Caldwell in that division, the Lions were competitive in just about every game that they had. They had a decent defense that they were actually playing with. He actually had an offensive-minded coach for one of the first times in his career, and he flourished from it. The only thing I do have a little bit of question marks about, I'm not super sold on Sony Michel, and the only reason I say that is from a statistical standpoint.
Yeah.
He's never reached over 1,000 yards for New England. He has come close. He had 900 yards his first two. I know he was injured last year, so I really can't hold that against him too much. Do I think he gives them a better option in the run game? For sure, and I think he also gives them a better option in the pass game. I would for sure have them winning the NFC West. I agree with them. I think defensively they're still solid. Offensively, they upgraded with Matt having the experience and him finally having an offensive coach. I think is really going to help him actually flourish in that system. And they still have two really good wide receivers, and they still have a really good offensive line. So I would definitely have them winning the NFC West.
And he's playing for a contract too, Sony Michel. He's in his last year in his rookie deal. So he has to bring the boom. He has to play great.
I agree with that. All right, let's move to the next topic. We're just about done with these garbage games and these preseason games. We're about to move into the regular season in about a week or two, about 2 weeks. You're talking about, these rookie quarterbacks.
Yes, sir.
Our dude Mike, he's happy because he finally got a quarterback that hopefully they can be good in that division, for their franchise. So, out of all these rookie quarterbacks, which one do you think will have the most successful year starting this year or whenever they get ready to start? We'll go with you on this one, Mike.
Zach Wilson easily. And I think the biggest part of it is the weapons he has. I just feel like he has more wide receivers than a lot of guys do. And he's going to be starting most likely from the beginning of the season all the way to the end. So Justin Fields, as much as I love him, you have dogs. We have Allen Robinson, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Jimmy Graham, et cetera, et cetera. But I can't give that to you until I know when you're coming in. So for me, Zach, from start to finish, will have the most tape, will have the most stats, will have everything going for him. Trevor Lawrence, with Travis Etienne going down, not a lot of wide receiver depth, and James Robinson, who, 5'9", undrafted rookie, had an amazing year, but can he duplicate that in a full season with preseason, with guys having more tape on him? Can you replicate that? So I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get the dog crap beat out of him. That offensive line is horrible. So I love Trevor. I'm a Clemson Tigers fan, but I worry for Trevor. Trey Lance, you don't know when he's coming. Mac Jones, you have no idea when he's coming. So I would give it to Zach Wilson, even though I'm not the biggest Zach Wilson fan.
All right, before we move to the next, to give it off to Tony, to all our viewers, please comment. Who do you believe will have the biggest impact this season at the rookie quarterback position? All right, Tony, who are you rolling with?
To me, I'm torn between two guys, and I think they're going to be two guys that they're going to have veterans start, and then they're going to come in after to replace them. To me, that's Trey Lance, and that's Mac Jones. Now, typically, I'm never really – I know. I'm sorry, Mike. I know. Don't get me wrong. Love me some Justin. I want Justin protected because I want the Bears to succeed long term. Mac Jones, I'm still not really ever sold on Alabama quarterbacks. I've said that several times before. Alabama quarterbacks are always, surrounded by a ton of NFL talent, deep in every single position, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, defense. All of them are almost always pro caliber starters. I think for Mac Jones, he has one of the best coaches. He's in a very tough division. He does have decent weapons around him, and the play style that New England runs is exactly what fits Mac Jones. And then Trey Lance, I think he's in just as good of a situation for where he's at with his coach. He has an offensive-minded coach. He has one of the best tight ends in the game. Yeah. He has a good offensive line, a very good defense. I would argue a tougher division than the AFC East. Don't get me wrong. The AFC East, you still got two other teams to really compete with. But to me, I say those two. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to get hurt. I think Trey's going to come in for him and succeed, just like Justin Herbert did last year when Tyrod Taylor was out. And I think the same thing for Cam Newton. If Cam Newton can't get over the whole COVID thing or isn't able to bounce back to how he was pre-COVID, I think this is going to be Mac Jones' team from that point forward. The only thing I will say, I still don't personally believe a lot in Zach Wilson. I think as far as where he's at, he's in the bottom of a division. He has a rookie head coach. There's a lot of questions on that offensive line. One of their big free agents, Carl Lawson, is hurt for the year. They lost Becton, their left tackle, is out right now, and I have questions at their wide receiver. But to me, I think Trey and Mac are going to have the best. Don't get me wrong. I think Justin long term. I'm hoping Justin long term is the dude because like I said, I grew up around Dub Bears. I love me the Bears, but I think right now, as far as starting this season, it's Mac and Trey.
All right, Tony, what quarterback do you see having a big impact this year?
Having a big impact?
My bad, not Tony, Jay.
No.
Believe it or not, though, you guys, if you want, I think the number 1 draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, I think he'll have like a solid year, though. Only because the division he's in, it's not that competitive. They only got like one team, like literally one team that has a really solid defense. That's the Indianapolis Colts. And the Tennessee Titans, they're kind of iffy. Like they have their runs. And then the Houston Texans, they about to be a whole mess. So he gonna have this opportunity to show his talent. But I think he'll be solid. And then, like one of y'all said, James Robinson, he make that second leap. I think he make the second leap if he's put in the right position. And I love the receiving core, DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault. If they just can scheme them up, I think Trevor Lawrence can be solid. I think this was Jacksonville been looking for. And they got a solid backup in Gardner Minshew, who already knows the system. So I think that's a bonus for Urban Meyer. Plus, Urban Meyer said he want to play fast. And Trevor Lawrence, he's one of those guys, like, he has to be in a position to succeed. Like, weakness is like, if it's too much pressure. But if Urban Meyer can keep the pressure off him, I think he can have a solid rookie year. He's going to get beat up, but not as much as my guy Burrow did last year.
And Jay, I got to ask you too, because it seems like you're kind of a big fan of Joe Burrow. I don't know if you're a Cincy fan or not. How did you feel about Jacksonville picking up Marvin Jones?
I'm a big fan.
So how did you feel about Jacksonville getting Marvin Jones?
Yeah, Meyer.
No, how do you feel about them getting Marvin Jones?
I think that's solid. I think you need that veteran presence in a locker room, though. He brings that veteran leadership to them, and he still got some juice in him. I think he can still perform, not at the highest level, but at the veteran level. Like, if you need him to get a catch, he can get a catch. But the main thing, he has to stay healthy.
All right, Jonathan, what rookie quarterback are you rolling with to have a more impactful season?
I think it's going to be Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to have a solid year. I think this is an immediate impact quarterback. Look, guys, this guy played at North Dakota State. For those who don't know much about North Dakota State, they played football at a very high level. They ran, the pro-style offense, which is very successful in the NFL. And he's already done things that translate to Sunday. Also, he's playing under a coach who's very offensive-minded. This guy can put Trey Lance in a situation, Kyle Shanahan, that is. He could put Trey Lance in a situation to succeed, to be successful. I don't think Jimmy G is the answer moving forward. I think he's very fragile. I hate to say it, but I think there will come a time where he will suffer another injury, and that will give Trey Lance the opportunity to take over that offense. And I think he'll adapt well. I think he'll get acclimated to the offense. I think he'll learn the playbook really quick. I think he'll catch on really fast because he's a mature quarterback. He definitely has physical tools to be great. He definitely has the intangibles. I don't see why he won't succeed with the San Francisco 49ers. And he has the playmakers around him. He has arguably one of the best tight ends in the game in George Kittle. And then you have a great running game behind you. So this guy has all the weapons at his disposal. I think he'll be very successful for the San Francisco 49ers.
He's going to get beat up if he starts. 49ers is not going to be who they think they is, man.
Well,
no, it remains to be seen.
The thing
tough
about
division
Trey,
right
Trey's
there.
got to hold on to that football.
It is.
but I will say the upgrade that you get from Trey Lance to Jimmy G, you have a quarterback who can run with the ball, he can throw the ball downfield and make things happen. He's more of an elite quarterback instead of a a game manager. Jimmy G is more of a game manager quarterback. And I think that's what the 49ers don't need a game manager quarterback. We seen in the Super Bowl a few years ago with Kyle Shanahan when he made one of the biggest mistakes. Instead of putting the ball back in his running back, he put the ball in Jimmy G to make plays, and that would cost him to win that Super Bowl. But with Trey Lance, I'm kind of with Jay, and I'm kind of with Jonathan on both. I don't know when's going to be the time to get him out there on the field, but you put him out there, he is more of an impact player than you would get from Jimmy G. And to my opinion, the 49ers are a quarterback away from making some real noise. Because let's not forget, it was only a few years ago that this team was in the Super Bowl, but they've been hurt, they've been injured, they've been hurt for the last couple of years, and that's what kind of the tank that slowed them down. But if they're healthy with a good quarterback, they can make a run. So that's that. So let's move it to the next topic. You don't think so? I still think the Rams can still win a division with you have Aaron Donald and the boys, but they can go on a run. I mean, it's funny. It's funny that we talk about all these teams in that division, but it seems like we're not even talking about the Seattle Seahawks anymore. That's who's been running that division for the last couple of years. I mean, and then you still have the Cardinals in that division. So I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think
about that.
sorry. I think a lot of that is just because there's still questions on that Seattle Seahawks offensive line as far as how are they going to protect Russ, and their defense is not what it used to be either. I mean, I could still see them very well being second place, if not giving a Rams a run for their money for the division. And then the Cardinals, I mean, they added talent. They added AJ Green and they added JJ Watt, but those guys are also, from the 2011 draft. They're, in their 32, 33. AJ Green's coming off an injury year. JJ Watt's coming off of an injury year. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have the potential. They do. I think they have a decent coach. They have one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the game in Nuke. And I mean, and so to me, I don't know if the Cardinals are ready to take that next step yet.
I still think they'd be better than the Seattle Seahawks this year. Because I mean, they're only knocked last year. Well, they didn't have a legit pass rusher. Now you bring in a JJ Watt who can help with that. You have AJ Green. You still have Fitzgerald on the line, not still making his decision what he want to do. But you have Kyler Murray. He's going to get nothing but better this year as well. With the running game down there. So I mean, if it's King Finchberry, how you say his name, if he can make the right plays and coach right, this team can be aimed for destiny. But the only question I have with the Cardinals is when it comes to coaching. So, but let's keep it moving. Let's move to the next topic. The NFL is cracking down on taunting. Do you guys think this will cause the NFL to go back to restricting celebrations, or should they? Should they take taunting away from the game? I'm gonna answer this real quick. Won't take long. Me personally, I'm okay with it, taunting. I'm okay with you celebrating. It makes the game more entertaining. That's what the fans want to see. When you're playing in the moment, when you're hyped up, it's kind of hard not to get excited. It's hard not to do a celebration. I mean, as long as they're not getting down and disrespectful to the other player, I'm okay with it. But hey, why not? I mean, this player, the NFL need to go ahead and just say it. They need to go ahead and be like the NBA. This is a players' league. These billion-dollar owners need to get out their head that, hey, even though I'm a billionaire, you have a player that's playing for you. And I wish the NFL went to that where it was more of a NBA. You start seeing it a little bit more now because you definitely seeing a lot of players come out and forcing trades and all that good stuff. But, I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it. Jonathan, how do you feel about it?
Man, all these professional sports leagues are becoming soft now. What harm is it in letting a player celebrate? When he scores a touchdown or when he gets into the end zone. I actually like those celebrations. I think they're exciting. I think they bring more drama to the game. It gives us something to talk about. Fans love it. So if the fans are okay with it, then why not let it stay around? Why not be content with it? If it works, then don't get rid of it. Don't put a restriction on it. I think the NFL is a bit over itself here. I think this just takes the fun out of the game. And why take the fun out of the game? Let the guys have fun. Let them show off. Let them show their energy. I'm okay with it. The only people that's not okay with this is when their team is down, and they're showing frustration. Then all of a sudden it becomes taunting. But if it's their team, going down the field and getting in the end zone and they celebrate, then it's all fine and dandy. You see, so I mean, some people could be hypocritical, and it's just ridiculous. Just let it be. Let the game stay as it is, and let these guys have fun.
Jay, do you agree with Jonathan, or do you think they should take it away?
I think the NFL commissioner or whoever that's setting the rules is overreacting. It's football. Football, you play with feelings and emotions. So when you leave your emotions out on the field, like it stays on the field, like there's nothing you can do to block it out. I think it's ridiculous. They try to push down on the rules though, and it's not even like rules that's like very like disrespectful and quarterly. So I just think that it just overreact though. Like it's football, like it's entertaining. Like it gets us fans pumped. Like it gets us to a whole nother level. Like and then sometimes these players be bringing out these new dances, and then it's spread out in the NFL community. So I
That's
think it's
true.
just crazy that like catch up on the time. Like I disagree with them.
Mike, how do you feel about it?
Man, I mean, the name of the league speaks for itself, bro. It's the NFL. It's the no fun league. You can't have fun anymore, bro. We don't do this. It's not a thing we're accustomed to. And I think it's completely wrong. As someone who's played multiple sports at a high level, I understand things that are said on the field that fans cannot hear, that these billion-dollar owners with networks of over trillions of dollars do not hear people say to you mid-game. So when these things are happening and these things are occurring and you have raw emotion and raw expressions that come out, I love that. I live for that, bro. Like, when someone's dogging you the entire game and then you just have a 60-yard bomb to win the game, like, I want to see that happen. Now, do I like when Juju starts dancing on logos pre-game? No. I think that's weird. I think
What's
that's
wrong with it?
I think it's weird. It's not the same conversation. But mid-game just celebrations, like that's not cool no more. Like the LeBron James pumping, going like that, like you live for moments like that. You know what I mean? Like, and those are the things you remember. Damian Lillard waving goodbye to the OKC big three. Like that's the stuff that like you live to see as fans. Those are those snapshots that you see a picture of it 10 years later from now, and you'll remember that exact moment. And now I can't remember any of them because when I throw a touchdown to Freddie, I'm just supposed to walk off the field with my hands folded and just sit back down. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I think you're definitely overreacting, and I think the league needs to go back to the ways it used to be. I mean, we used to have guys ripping off people's helmets and just like demolishing dudes. You know what I mean? Off the rip. And that was just an everyday thing. And you notice the fans are changing nowadays. And the league is changing, and I just hate the direction that it's going.
Mike, I'll tell you one thing. I think me and you become a great crazy duo. You throwing me the ball, I'm up there. Whew. Hey, man, and if Roger Goodell gonna put me and Mike on the team, man, we be better than Rogers and Adams. I'm just saying.
Without a question.
All right, Tony, where do you stand on this situation, man?
I mean, I agree. I agree with what Jay said. These are professional grown athletes. They wear their emotions on their sleeves. For a lot of times, this is what guys have dreamed of ever since they were kids, to go out to an NFL field, to be a NFL star and have that moment to where they can celebrate the fact that they're one of the few people in the history of the world that has caught an NFL touchdown or made a significant play for the sport of football. I don't agree with it. And to me, if anything, especially, coming from a military background, that should just give you more motivation to play harder. Like, right. If I'm on the defense and, Mike throws a touchdown to you, Freddie, and I'm covering you and you celebrate, you're taunting me, I should be like, okay, all right, I need to step my game up. I need to play harder because I'm not about to let Freddie do this. Not all game. He gets one and that's it. To me, that should just be fuel for them to continue to go. I think the players would probably agree with that as well. But yeah, I agree with you as well that it needs to be like the NBA. It needs to be a more player-driven league that, this is going to happen. Now, there probably should be limits to a point as far as what some stuff should or shouldn't be done.
Right.
I would even say that could be a case-by-case scenario. I wouldn't even try to do a blanket gray area rule over that. Just, hey, this is a case-by-case as far as how you handle this off the field after the game is over. But no, I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I think they should just leave it alone. They finally got the celebration thing passed, 2 years ago? I mean, I think they should just keep it.
And then they're having fun.
Yeah.
No fun league.
All right, that's all.
Grown man playing a kid's game, having a good time. They're full of energy. They wear their emotions on their sleeves. Let them be themselves. Let them have a good time and stop penalizing everything. Stop finding fault with everything we do.
All right, let's move. That's all of the NFL topics. We'll move to the NBA. Jay, I know you about to have to get ready to hop off here. I want you to go over this topic real quick before you leave. Before we go, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. I know me and Jonathan and everybody else is glad to have you. You can hop on anytime you want. The topic for you is Damian Lillard came out the other night and said that he is committed to come back to Portland. He's committed to come back, but he don't know for how long that he's going to be committed. So how long? When do you think he's going to break ties with Portland, and where do you think he'll go? If he go?
Man, look, this is his window to leave right now. If he stays in Portland, I think he's just ruining his value, and he's basically playing chess. He thinks he's playing chess, but the chess moves slow down. But if the Blazers are playing bad, I got him going simple. Philadelphia 76ers. Like, I think that they are perfect match. They can dominate the East in the upcoming years. Dame got like a good 5-6 more years, and Joel Embiid to sign that super max. So you pair those two guys together, I think they can bring the championship to the city of Philly, man. I think Philly is the team for him, man. Nobody else. Philly.
Yeah.
Tony.
All right, so for me, I think Dame stays for one more year, and I only say that because I think at this point, if Portland was going to trade him, that they would have done it already, either for players, whether it be for draft capital, for somebody else, something, they would have already done it. So to me, I think he stays at least one more year. And you remember I told you earlier in the segment that I had a surprise for you as far as where I think he should go. To me personally, I think as far as him building that legacy, as cementing himself as far as one of the best players to ever play the game, and to help your Los Angeles Lakers, they need to dump Russell Westbrook and they need to get Dame Lillard, because to me, Dame has proven himself continuously, not only in the regular season, but the playoffs. And I think he would be a better fit for LeBron. I think he would be a more consistent fit. I think he would be a more reliable fit than Russell Westbrook. So to me, get rid of Russ, go get you a Dame, and then actually go win a championship. And then I will not trash the Lakers if they do, at least for that season. Next season, no guarantees. But if they do that, I will be wholeheartedly behind the Lakers.
Nah, we get it. We get it, Russ. We get it, Russ. He's from LA. He's from LA, man. We good with Russ. We love Russ. What'd he say?
So was Lonzo.
Mike, you must have a bad understanding. I mean, I understand when you play for bum franchises, you think like this. Tell him, ask you a question. What basketball team you roll with?
The Bulls, my guy. The Bulls.
No, I said Jay, not Mike.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Who's your team?
Can you tell me what was the question again?
Who's your NBA team?
Oh, I'm rooting for the Bucks, baby.
Okay, so if you have a chance,
hey, they're close to Cincinnati. Fair enough.
All right, so if you have a chance to trade Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton to get an Anthony Davis, what do you do with
it? The AD stuff. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not. I'm asking him a question. I didn't ask you. I'm asking Jay a question. What'd you do with Jay?
If I have the opportunity to get Dame, trade
No. If you have a chance, okay, let's take the championship away, okay, that you just won. Let's say you have a chance to trade Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton for Anthony Davis to team up with Giannis. Would you do it?
Hell no, man.
What?
He's
No.
injury prone.
Right way.
I
Mike.
Right way.
say Dame, man, but you said AD. No, we don't get no other big man. That leaves us with no point guard.
Okay, I can understand that point. Okay, well, I guess the situation I'm trying to get with Mike is when you have a young team. We had Lonzo, we had Ingram, we had Ball, we had all the young guys. When you have a chance to team with LeBron with Anthony Davis, you do it. I bet you the Lakers will do it 10,000 times.
Oh, I'm
You
not
try to
saying
win
that.
a championship, Mike.
But that's what I'm
You're
trying to
bringing
tell
that
you.
up.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Freddie. That's not the point I'm making. Your point is saying, "Oh, Russ is gonna stay because he's from LA." But if that's the case, then Lonzo would have stayed. So they don't care.
I didn't say he was going to
They
stay.
want to win a championship, no? So they would get Dame.
I didn't say that Russell Westbrook was going to stay.
You say he from LA. He ain't going nowhere.
I said I wouldn't trade him for Dame because he's from LA. That's what I said.
That's why, because he's from LA.
Because he's from LA. He's going to win a championship here in LA. He want to be home. His kids want to be home. I mean, hey, I want to be home too. But Mike, where do you think Damian Lillard's going to go, or do you think he's going to go?
Dame time.
Where is he going?
Man, for me, I really did think Miami was an option because I just thought him, Jimmy Butler, and Bam would be nice. But now with Kyle Lowry, I don't see that happening. I'll say this. Dame, you are la toxica. You are the most toxic individual I've ever met in my life. You are going back to the girl that's let you down more times than none. And after all of this crap talking on Facebook, after all this crap talking on Instagram Lives, you say, you know what? I'll run it back one more time. We'll see if it works out this time, shorty. Like, it ain't working, bro.
What's wrong with being loyal?
So, loyal to the wrong person, Freddie. If you're loyal to a toxic person like Portland is as an organization, you're just hurting yourself and you're hurting your legacy. So for him, I say Boston, Philly, anywhere but Portland. I say by mid-season, the trade deadline, I think there's talks about it.
Man, me personally, I'm going with a team that's down here 2 hours away from me. I'm going with the Dallas Mavericks. You put Luka with Dame,
That'd be nice, too.
Lillard.
That'd be nice.
You put them two together. You finally give Luka help. You give Dame help. Them two, but Luka can get guys involved. He can score as well, get you the triple double. But Dame, he said, "Okay, give me the ball and crunch time." That's somebody that Luka can depend on. Is going to knock down shots. Who's going to make others better? And all you have to do is fill the roster out around them two. You put some 3-and-D guys out there, some guys that can play defense and a good solid big. And that team can compete in the West. That's where I'm going. I'm going with Dallas. Jonathan, where do you see Dame going if you see him going at all?
Where do I see Dame ending up if he doesn't stay with Portland?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a good question. I thought the Lakers would make the most sense. They were linked to him at one point, but now the Lakers have Russell Westbrook. It all depends on how the market will look at that time and who would need a point guard at that time or some backcourt help in the near future. Can he end up going to a team like the Sixers maybe? Can he go to Dallas? Well, with Luka, I don't know how that would work out, but Philly makes the most sense because they do need backcourt help. Ben Simmons has not, been that shooter that they could rely on. He's not a great shooter. I think that's a great destination for him. It's Philly. I think he'll fit in well with a guy like Joel Embiid. And I think if they get a strong shooter in that backcourt, I think Philly is really maybe a championship away from a perennial shooter like Damian Lillard. So that's where I could see him ending up right now. But, that can all change in a matter of months and in a matter of weeks, really, depending on how the market will look at the time. For the time being, Damian Lillard says that he's content staying in Portland, but we all know that he could just be saying that to not create a distraction. We know that deep down inside that these players feel the opposite. That they lie. You know, they lie. They tell you, "Oh, I'm committed. You know, I'm loyal to this city. I want to spend the rest of my career here in this city." That's a lie. That's a lie. They know they want to get on a contending team, and they know they want to go where the money is. And if the money's right, and if he can go to a contending team, he's definitely out of Portland. Because I feel like what Clarence said. I agree with him. They're wasting this guy's prime, and you're seeing a valuable player who seems like he's getting tired of his current situation, and at some point, Damian Lillard's going to say enough's enough. He's going to request a trade, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
All right, Jay. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know you had to roll up out of here. Like I said, you're more than welcome to hop on anytime you want. Appreciate it, my brother.
Thanks, everybody, man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, thanks,
All right, Jay.
Hey, before we move on, guys, so is Drake gonna be Steph Curry's stepdaddy? Is that what I'm hearing?
Are you for real?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard today in some reports.
Man, I will say that would be pretty funny. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. All right, let's move to the last topic of the night. Old man Dudley was what I call him, but his name is Jared Dudley. He decided to leave the Lakers and retire from basketball to become the new Dallas Mavericks assistant coach. Do you guys believe Maverick he's on the Maverick staff? Do you guys think that what will this do for Luka, and what will this do for Jason Kidd? Start with you on this one, Jonathan.
This is good for Jared Dudley. I think he, has the basketball mind. He definitely understands the game really well. He has a great perspective for the game. I think this is a good hire. I think he's that veteran voice that can help players grow and prosper and take their game to the next level. So I think this is a good hire for the Dallas Mavericks. I think this means a lot for a guy like Luka, who is still developing, who is still growing, who is good at his age. Even though he's not in his prime just yet, he's getting there, but this guy has done some amazing things, and I think Jared Dudley would help with his growth, and I think Jared Dudley would be a great voice on that Mavericks bench. This is a guy who appeared on TV. I like the way he analyzed. I like the way he talked about basketball. And, he just has a keen understanding. And it's great for the Dallas Mavericks. I think this is an excellent hire.
Me personally, I think this. It's going to help Luka, but I think this is going to help more Kristaps Porzingis. Jared Dudley's a power forward, and he's known to help power forwards. Look what he did in Milwaukee with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He helped mentor him. Even Kyle Kuzma. He said that Jared Dudley is one of his closest players in LA because the advice that he gave him. We've seen how bad Kristaps Porzingis performed in the playoffs this year. I think Jared Dudley can help him take his game to the next level, be more consistent, where he can help Luka. And I think he'll help Jason Kidd as well because, let's be honest, Jared Dudley been coaching for the last 2 years when he's in LA. He was not a guy that had been playing. He's one of them guys that been on the bench, helping guys in film room. Even we heard LeBron James say while he was in the bubble, who was watching film with him, who was helping him break down film. It was Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley's that guy. He's been in the league for a long time. He knows all the plays. He can help him as well. That's just another veteran appearance on that bench with Jason Kidd. What's your expectation? What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I'd agree. The dude played in the league for 14 years. And I don't know if anybody paid attention to social media when this came out, but LeBron was actually upset that Jared Dudley went to the Mavericks as an assistant coach. But I agree. I think that he brings that very good, basketball mentality. Like you said, Freddie, he's already kind of gotten into coaching. And to me, one thing that I've noticed with teams, whenever they start to become successful, and especially you see it a lot in the NFL too, these younger coaches having early success early on. And I think a lot of times that's because he's able to relate to a lot of these younger players. If I have a guy that literally just retired from the game and then he comes back as a coach, okay, he understands where I'm coming from as a player and my perspective, I'm probably going to be a little bit more keen to be like, okay, this guy's been in this guy has done this game, he's been in this business and he was in this business recently. So to me, I would have a better accepting of whatever he has to teach me as far as knowledge goes to do that. And, he is an NBA champion. One thing that, whether people like LeBron or not, he learned the winning formula and he helps teach that. And I think for him, Jared Dudley taught him, hey, this is what you look at for film. This is what you do for this. And LeBron said, okay, well, this is how you win a championship with this, this, and this. So I think he'll be a great addition for Luka. I think he'll be a great addition for Jason Kidd, just to be, that fly on the wall and the whispering in the ear. So to me, I think it was a great hire. And I mean, what better way for him to, not only retire, but then immediately go into a coaching gig. And, who knows, maybe in a few years we might see him as a head coach of an NBA team. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But hey, man. Hey, Jonathan, before we go, tell the folks what's going to happen next Friday.
Hey everyone, what's up? So I'm excited about this new NBA show that I'm gonna launch with myself and several other co-hosts. It's gonna be exciting. We want you guys to tune in next Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. my time. It will be after Just Say the Truth. So right after, you guys will hop on with me again and my co-host, and we'll talk NBA basketball. We'll cover the hottest topics in the NBA world, and it's going to be exciting. Please join us for the show. We look forward to having you all.
Yes, sir. And you can look forward to us this Sunday. This Sunday is a big day for the network, a huge day for the network. It is our 1 year anniversary. Our 1 year anniversary. We're going to do a 6-hour long show. We're going to break some big news. We're going to give out some.
That is one long intro. just kidding. Hello, this is our very first episode of Wrestle. We're here to talk about AEW and Raw. Unfortunately, somebody's running late right now, Eric, but he'll be here soon. So while he's gone, we will talk about AEW tonight. What a show we had! What a show!
Yeah, it was a show, all right. It was a show, all right. I'm not sure if it was a good show, but. So you didn't catch the first match.
No.
So I will talk about Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy, which Dom just spoiled. Orange Cassidy won.
I'm gonna spoil all of them.
No, that's fine.
I mean,
I honestly didn't. I think I'm kind of sick of Orange Cassidy's thing. The little kicks, and Matt Hardy was so Orange Cassidy would kick him. Matt Hardy would do the delete. I'm like. And I don't like that Matt Hardy does the elite now because he's not in that character. He's a different, totally other character. The one thing I did like about this is Orange Cassidy put his hands in his pockets like he usually does. Matt Hardy did the same thing, but Matt Hardy took out his hands out of his pockets and he just had like stacks of money. But overall, I feel like this match. I feel like Matt Hardy was really sloppy in this match. I don't know if it's age getting to him because I don't watch too many Matt Hardy matches nowadays. I don't know.
Why would you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's age killing him or it's just I don't know. But Orange Cassidy did a crossbody, which is intended to hit like right here. Like right here.
Yeah. That's a crossbody.
He hit him right in the nose, makes him bleed everywhere. I think he broke his nose. So if I was rating this match, I'd probably give it like 2 stars. It was not very exciting. It was very slow pace. And I hope I don't have – and then Orange Cassidy's versing I don't know the guy's name next week, but and Matt Hardy's Click.
Oh, okay. Jack Evans.
Yeah, they announced that for next week. So I'm hoping the see a little more of Orange Cassidy performing because I don't really watch that much.
Well,
But-
Jack Evans is a big high flyer, so he can showcase some of that. Because Matt Hardy, he's old. He does a lot of taunting now. He's more of a spokesfigure than an actual wrestler, I would seem.
Yeah, so like I do like Matt on the mic still. I think he still has it. I think he's much better than he was back in the day because I don't remember him like in the early 2000s being very good on the mic.
Maybe I have to watch back the Edge feud, if anything, that would intrigue me. Maybe I have to watch back the Hardy feud in 2009, but I can't really talk about his promo skills back then and compared
But
to
yeah,
now.
they seem to improve a lot. It seems like he's really good at this character he's playing. But for the match, it wasn't my cup of tea. I do not like slow-paced matches, especially slow-paced matches with the wrestlers that aren't very good in the ring anymore. As Matt Hardy is. So, like, yeah, I wasn't really too much interested in this match.
Well, I came home from basketball because hoop is life. Is that how's the ball is life? Okay, Eric is here.
Sorry, I'm late.
Great
There
job, Eric. You pushed me all the way up to the AEW review. Now all my face is AEW review.
I mean, Dom, I think it's better that way. If we're being
No, it's not. I have a beautiful head of hair. Look at this. I look like young Ric Flair.
I can't see the AEW logos in the way, but anyway.
Eric, were you able to catch any of?
So you didn't watch AEW tonight, so you're kind of running blank right now. But the first match is Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Hardy. Orange Cassidy broke
Matt Hardy, I believe you mean.
Matt Hardy.
I didn't watch, but I don't think Jeff Hardy was on AEW tonight.
It's literally right there. It's literally right there.
It says Orange Cassidy defeated Matt Hardy.
I know. All right, whatever. So Matt Hardy, and they botched a lot of moves, and it was an Orange Cassidy win. So that's really all you need to know about that match.
Okay, Orange won. What a spoiler!
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm in Chicago this whole week. Too
late to be in Chicago.
For non-wrestling related reasons, I'm in Chicago. Yes, I watched Raw, but I wasn't able to watch Dynamite today. But I'm more than happy to give my opinion just in general on both of these guys because I have pretty strong opinions about both these guys.
There we go.
Yes, I mean. In reference to just the feud overall, I feel like, call me crazy, this feud feels like it's been going on for a really long time.
I called you crazy because I don't know when it actually started.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's been going on for a while. And these are just two of the guys where even when I watch AEW pretty frequently, but I always skip over their stuff. So them feuding makes it a little bit easier because I don't need to skip over quite as much.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Orange Cassidy, I feel like he's a classic AEW guy. Because AEW, it's a product geared towards their fans, and literally just their fans. And he's so over with them, but I'm just like, I'm not part of that crowd. I don't get the appeal. Honestly, anybody who says they like Orange Cassidy in a not ironic way, I don't believe them at all because I just don't. It's stupid. It's the same thing. His matches are the same every single time.
You better stop hating him up.
Yeah, and then Matt Hardy. He's obviously a legend, but I've been really confused with him in AEW. Because he's been in AEW for a little over a year, I feel like, and he's already on. This is big money. He's like his fourth gimmick. He's already tried. Like he just keeps coming up. He keeps using gimmicks, and they all are bad. So if this was the opening match, I'm really glad I wasn't able to watch tonight.
It was not a good show, in my opinion. I did not like AEW at all.
I wasn't there, so I can't judge. But while in the shower, young Dominik watched the Jericho promo, and Dominik enjoyed the Jericho promo. I actually took some notes, so I'm the notes guy for AEW now. So Eric, you move out. You better move out the way.
We'll see.
Because a new sheriff has arrived in town. So basically, Jericho wants a rematch. Surprise, surprise. He sets up the match for All In. Was it All Out or All Out?
All Out.
All out. All out.
And he says if he loses, he will no longer wrestle in AEW. And I was like, ooh. And then MJF comes out and he says, well, why can't Chris Jericho? Why can't you just leave me alone? And honestly, I thought the same. Why can't Chris Jericho just leave MJF alone? But he's intrigued of retiring Jericho.
If only he was actually going to retire him.
Well, the thing is, with the I still think MJF is going to win, but
No way.
Listen.
With that,
Listen. He can still wrestle, like, say, shows for Impact now, and say,
stop it.
No, they said in a later promo, they said career. They said career.
God, I hate these stipulations. I really hate those stipulations. They ruin everything because is anyone actually believing that MJF's going to win? Like this?
Yes, I still do believe.
They
have to.
Other than you, but
Other than me.
to think like this is actually something that's going to happen, that Chris Jericho might just lose and be just done with wrestling. Are you kidding? It's the same thing with the Roman Cena stipulation. I have the exact same thought. Why? Now I just know who's going to win without a doubt. I mean, Jericho was probably going to win the match anyway without the stipulation making it really obvious, but now there's not even a point to really watch. I mean, I'm going to watch the match, but I feel like I don't need to.
Go ahead.
So I'm just like marveled, like the AEW marks. Like, if you're gonna crap on WWE for doing rematch after rematch after rematch, you have to be like, what is going on here? Literally, MJF should be like in the title picture in another big another big program, but he's doing something with old ass Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
He's been with Jericho for what now, a year and a half, including the Inner Circle.
I think besides the tag matches, they've had 3 separate matches. MJF has won all 3, and now you're gonna just like kill his momentum.
He has to win the 4th. No, he has to win the 4th.
I mean, the only thing I can see is Chris Jericho said, "Oh, he'll just do commentary full time."
Bullshit.
So the only thing I can see is if MJF beats him, Chris Jericho on commentary, Chris Jericho starts getting involved in his matches, and MJF challenges him to another one. And if Chris, if you beat me, you can start wrestling again, and that's what's going to happen. Or
the only problem with that would be kind of cool, but if they're going to make the angle that Jericho's like being a smartass on commentary during MJF's matches, that doesn't play very well to the live crowd because the live crowd can't hear the commentary. But yeah, true. It's not going to happen. Jericho's just going to win. He's going to derail all MJF. I've been saying it for a while. Whenever he does something really good or like win, like it's a really good win, he never gets to keep his momentum. He never gets to keep his heat. And I'm happy to see this is no different at all.
Point out something interesting that MJF did say, which popped me, and you guys can guess who that is a reference to. He said, do you guys know what this is a reference to?
I actually didn't hear you cut out.
You cut out, yeah.
God damn it. He said, I'm the best in the world, and you know it. What's that a reference to?
It's to MJF.
Yeah, that's MJF.
That's his saying.
So it's not a reference to. I swear I could have heard
actually,
say that.
It's a combination of him and CM Punk. His things I'm better than you know it. His things I'm better than you.
Chris Jericho in WWE was I'm the best at the world at what I do.
No, that's but I swear there was a, and you know it, like not woo woo.
And you know it's
like not like know it, but like I feel
that's
like
MJF. That's MJF. He said that numerous.
Okay.
Yeah, that big segue just.
Okay, whatever. On to the next, like JC likes to say. So next we have the Eliminator Tournament continues after the Private Party. They beat the Private Party on Friday. Today we have the
Dom, you keep coming out a bit, so I'll take over. So the Lucha Bros. This is probably the best match of the night. I don't. So my only gripe was the start of the match. Why do they have the tag teams in the crowds? I don't understand why
they always have that.
I don't understand. It's stupid.
Well, they were going to come on They came on afterwards anyway.
Which tag was it? The tag teams like in the tournament, or was it just on?
It was like, Jungle Boy and whatever.
Luchasaurus.
Okay, then I think that's their way of saying like, I think that's their response to like in WWE. If this were to happen, they'd cut to them like off camera in the back, awkwardly standing in front of a television screen.
Yeah,
I think that's how they. Which I kind of like. Finding a different way to do that because in WWE it looks so dumb. I don't know if in the crowd with the paying fans is necessarily the answer to that.
Especially during a pandemic, wouldn't you think that like it would not be the best thing to have your people your people in the crowd with
like that. Like that's I think if that'd be a fun time. Like if Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus have to be there, you can put them on commentary. I mean, neither of them talk very much, but that's just a way you can have them in there, and you can ask them a few questions. The classic, where they can kind of put over both teams, talk about how they're better. It's just a better way to do it, I think. But what do I know? They got the book of the year.
What do you know? I'm kidding.
So my impression of this match is probably the best match of the night. I'm not sure how I feel about the Varsity Blondes, if I'm being honest. I don't really like their gimmick that much. I feel like it's like kind of stupid. But I was rooting for the Lucha Bros in this match. I think the Lucha Bros are very talented. I think no matter what, the Young Bucks are gonna win. So that's AEW booking. They're not gonna take the title off Kenny. They're not gonna take the title off the Young Bucks. So in all, it was a pretty decent match. I'd give it like 3.5 stars. It wasn't the best, but AEW is such a better job at tag team wrestling that WWE.
Yes.
Totally agree.
They still have like way too many groups, but like the tag team difference between WWE and AEW is so far, and the talent isn't really that far in between. Like I think WWE is probably the best tag teams other than the Young Bucks, and they just don't use them correctly.
Well, let's see if I can say something before it cuts me out again. I really enjoy the Eliminator tournament because it's a good way to showcase tag teams we otherwise wouldn't see. I don't remember how many times the Varsity Blondes have been on television, like TNT television before this, but it's a good way to showcase their younger talent and be like, hey, you guys like Varsity Blondes? I enjoyed the wing work they do. The gimmick itself, it's a reference to what they did with Senior, Pillman Senior, and Austin, of course. So the gimmick is whatever. I really don't look into gimmick much as I should, but actually, let me refrain to use it. The gimmicks is fine, whatever. But way to showcase the young talent and say, hey, look, this is AEW Dark. You should check it out to watch more Varsity Blondes. It was a pretty good match. The Lucha Bros.
Oh, there he goes.
The next in the world. He'll come back. Hey, you're back.
Penta El Zero is over. Phoenix is over. Penta El Zero had a Joker-inspired ring gear on, which was great. Great all-around match. I enjoyed myself. And afterwards, the Young Bucks, they came out. Well, they came out before the match, and then they watched it.
It's like such like a I don't get the Young Bucks gimmick. Like what are they? Are they like the jocks of? Like,
I feel like their gimmick.
We're good.
Their gimmick seems like it's just obnoxious. And
it is.
And because we're obnoxious, that makes us heels because you're probably annoyed with what we're doing.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, obviously, I didn't watch the match. I'm probably going to preface everything I say with I didn't watch it, but but didn't watch the match. But I do like both of these teams. I think for the Lucha Bros, Penta's I definitely like Penta, but as far as like in-ring work, I think I'm definitely more of a Rey Fenix fan. I think he's definitely one of the best high flyers, at least that are working in a North American promotion. There's some crazy guys down in Mexico, but as far as guys that work in a North American promotion, I think he's definitely the best high flyer. He just does things that people should not be able to do with their body, and it's just insane. The Varsity Blondes, so Dom, you said you don't know how much TNT television they've been on.
Yeah.
They're not on very often. They're really used, at least from what I haven't seen every single AEW Dynamite since they started, but every time I see them, they're kind of used more as enhancement talent. They come in and they have a serviceable 5-minute match to get another team over. But also I'm noticing on the screen it says Luncha Bros, not Lucha Bros.
Luncha Bros. Let me hide that.
but
I want to edit it.
Anyway, it's Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. I'm not a huge fan of Griff Garrison. He just hasn't really done anything that's like wowed me, I don't think. But Brian Pillman Jr. At first I wasn't a huge fan of his, what I'm about to say, it goes to how I think they've just really dropped the ball on what they could have done with Brian Pillman Jr. when the Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring episode aired, he got so over for just like real world stuff. Like if you've seen that 2-parter of Dark Side of the Ring, you will love Brian Pillman Jr. And I just think and also just as far as if we're talking about Dark Side of the Ring, like ratings, those 2 episodes had the highest rating of any of the episodes they've had in their 3 seasons. So they've had the biggest audience seeing Brian Pillman Jr. and him just getting over. And I think they just completely missed the opportunity there. Like, I'm not saying throw him straight into the title picture. I'm not even necessarily saying break up the tag team, but I think they missed a huge opportunity to give Brian Pillman Jr. some shine and really because then once he gets some shine and people get behind him, they get behind the team. And then that's a team that people will actually cheer for instead of just using them as enhancement talent. Because now it's just I think for me, Brian Pillman Jr., he's got all this potential, and he's still fairly green. He's not I understand why they're not pushing him necessarily as an in-ring performer because he's still got a lot of work to do. But just as a not even a character, but because everything we know about him from Dark Side of the Ring is real. He's a babyface personality. Yeah. And with wrestling fans these days, when we know everything's fake. When we and this is why CM Punk, one of the big reasons why CM Punk is, don't give me that face. One of the big reasons why CM Punk is so over is because we know that everything he says he means and that he isn't he's not putting on an act. The character of CM Punk is Phil Brooks. He's not a different person. So whenever the wrestling fan today, whenever they can find something that's real, like a person that is real, that person just instantly gets over. And I think they really dropped the ball with Brian Pillman Jr. on that.
The only reason I'd say I would dispute that is because I really do think the Lucha Bros are going to take off the titles from the Young Bucks.
Of course not. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
You said you think they are. Did you say you think they are?
I do.
Okay, okay.
Because you should have seen the crowd. They were over. It
doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It's the Young Bucks.
What do you mean it does matter?
Not to the Young Bucks. Hey, Young Bucks. Hey, Young Bucks. They cheered for these guys. You think you want to drop the title now? No, they don't.
I feel like they go backstage and they're like, "Hey, hey, Nick and Matt, you're gonna lose the title." And they're like, "No, we're not. Sorry."
Just a bold prediction for mine, but that's whatever.
Another dumb bold prediction. So if this,
I have a question. It got higher ratings than the.
So if this bold prediction becomes true, does that bring the running total to 1?
I'm making last week bold predictions, so at least one of them comes to. Rated all around.
No, you're not gonna get it.
Whatever. So I was just gonna say before I cut out, basically the Young Bucks try to push the Lucha Bros and the Jurassic Park into each other, and they were not having it. Penta and Luchasaurus super kicked Matt and Nick off the apron, and that was about it.
Yeah, I didn't like that either because these teams are fighting Friday for a chance to win the tag titles or have a chance to go to Steel Cage to win the tag titles, and they're helping each other out.
They respect each other. They're done with the Young Bucks. They're done with the Super Elite. The Good Brothers were there too, and they just stood around doing nothing. That's
they usually do. That's
they usually do.
Yeah, what are the Good Brothers even doing in AEW at this point?
They're just
nothing.
They're there to be there. Why not?
And I like them. I like those guys, but I just wish they'd actually do something with them.
I have it somewhere.
If you're not going to do anything with the Good Brothers, why are they there? Because the Elite, that stable has enough people. It's got Kenny, the Bucks, Good Brothers, Nakazawa, and Brandon Cutler. You already have Nakazawa and Cutler. Those are already your 2 flunkies. You don't need to have the Good Brothers.
Brandon Cutler, Nakazawa.
All right, let's move on to the next match because this we spent way too much on. It was a good match.
Yeah, we spent way too much on the Lucha Brothers and watch the blood.
All right, let me go on this next one. Jamie Hayter, which I guess I don't watch. I haven't watched too much AEW up to this point, so I guess she's a muscle for Britt Baker.
Yeah, she's a muscle. Yeah, not Rebel. Britt Baker for a while now, and And she debuted in the first Rampage.
So this was a very stiff match.
Very.
Red Velvet. When I first watched Red Velvet, she reminds me of Spike Dudley. Just her body just throwing all over the place.
Spike Dudley.
And so this was probably my favorite moment of the whole episode, when Jamie Hayter's on the ground, back up and face the wall. Red Velvet tries a moonsault, completely misses her, missed her bad.
Oh boy.
Jamie didn't move at all, and she just went, and then she landed face first, and then they got the finish out of that.
Oh.
But she just missed the moonsault. It was terrible.
That's kind of a Red Velvet thing. There was I want to say it was a little over a month ago. She kind of had a similar moment, except it wasn't a moonsault. She was going for a suicide dive, and you know how in Daly's place on the camera sides, there's not that much space between the floor and the barricade. She took off way too fast, and you guys know a scorpion when you hit and then your back bends and your legs come up they could touch that.
Oh, don't worry, she did that tonight too. She did that tonight twice.
It looked like she was legit could have broken her back. She's super green, but especially she needs to work if she's going to be doing those kinds of those high spots and those dangerous spots. She needs to polish up because she's going to really hurt herself.
So the Spike Dudley of AEW. You heard it here first.
I don't know if my connection is. I don't understand. My connection's been a mystery ever since I ever got it. But I know that she did the Scorpion twice. I took count of that. She did 2 runs outside, and she did the Scorpion twice. And she also took a very bad Irish whip to the ring post, and it looked pretty bad. It looked very stiff. So other than that, Cody already described the finish. Then Red Velvet and Britt Baker. Britt Baker is probably the most over women's wrestler right now. I'll argue that. No, right now.
I don't know.
Becky's
just probably not to be over on SmackDown, but she's definitely over if you heard the crowd.
I'll argue that. Like I said, I'll argue that. Anyways, they attacked Velvet after the match. Chris Stanley came. And she rescued her, and then they had a little stare down. And they're gonna, I think, I forgot the match to tease, but they're gonna have something next week.
It's a tag match. It's a tag team match.
Tag team match. So that will be our go home until they go to all out.
And then they have, they also have the Casino Royal match, but it's a women's match.
Yeah. I'll talk about that later. I have that written down.
Okay.
Next, we have I don't know. Cody didn't like the segment before we talked about the. Basically, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds were arguing.
Okay.
And everyone was pissed at Uno, and it looks like they're feuding. I don't know.
It was very dumb. It was just the terrible.
It wasn't dumb.
It was just. What was it? What did you
point was this to show that they're feuding. Okay, it wasn't dumb. You could say it was bad acting, whatever, but it was to further the story.
Terrible acting.
It wasn't terrible.
If I can be the voice of reason, the third vote. I didn't watch it, but if the Dark Order was involved, it was stupid.
Shut up! No.
They've never, from the second that they debuted in AEW, been over or interesting to me.
Except
they were a little bit interesting for me with Brody Lee, because I really like Brody Lee, but I definitely like them better as heels. And they never really officially turned face. It's just Brody Lee died, and then they just kind of became babyface, which I totally understand. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But they're so dumb. I hate everything. I think everything. They're too goofy, and ridiculous, and I don't take them seriously because they never win matches. How can I take anyone seriously that even if they argue and have a hot segment, I know whatever match they're going to have, they're going to lose. Find me the last time the Dark Order won a match. And I'm going to say that, and then it's going to turn out they won last week or something, but they don't win matches.
They did say that. Didn't they just say that we haven't won? Wasn't that part of their thing? We've been on a losing streak or something.
Last time I remember them winning was at the Brody Lee special.
Which was at the beginning, which was at the end. That was at the end of 2020.
Yeah,
it was at the end of 2020. I think them their whole thing with Adam Page that they were doing. I think that was horrible for Adam Page.
They still are talking about him because they were like,
Are they really?
we haven't seen Adam Page since you made him run off or something. It was like, yeah, it was dumb. It was dumb.
Adam Page needs to stay away from them. I think.
I mean, he is.
Good. I think.
He said it himself.
I think he needs to stay
He's
that
also
way.
staying away from TV too. When's the last time Adam Page was on TV? The when they had the Space Jam match.
Yeah.
Was that the last time he was on TV?
Well,
That was like-
he was probably like, I can't believe they actually booked me to lose this stupid shit. I'm never like. That's a good time to take some time off if I'm Adam Page. But yeah, I think. But yeah, I think the Dark Order, everything the Dark Order touches turns to stupid and not interesting. So, having not seen the segment, I'll tell you the segment sucked.
You better rewatch it and like it.
I'll watch it and I'll probably say the same thing.
Or whatever. Back to the amazingness of Punk.
Okay, can I go on this? Because I'm gonna have an opinion that Dom's not really gonna like.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think
He's
it
gonna
would
be like, oh, Punk was awful. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
No. I just think it didn't make sense.
Oh,
Like,
Okay, go on.
He literally went into the ring to just trash on WWE some more. That's literally, and then he made a reference to Daniel Bryan. Everybody was going, yes. He said, "Oh, you're gonna have to be a little more patient on that one."
oh, okay.
That was
excitement. It's
That was
exciting.
cool though. But like the match versus Darby Allin is in what, a week and a half, or like it's next Sunday.
Yeah.
So
The next Sunday.
there's really no hype on it. Darby Allin didn't come to confront him, talk about the match, and then it's like, oh, maybe Darby Allin's not here tonight.
No,
And then
we know what he's doing.
The next match, Darby Allin's in a tag team match. Like, where are we going here? Like, are you gonna hype it at all? Are you gonna I'm not. The only reason I'm interested in the match is CM Punk coming back. Other than that, I wouldn't be interested.
I think that's what.
But I want at least like a little background on what's going on. Like CM Punk's just like, oh, if I was 15, Darby Allin would be my favorite wrestler.
But I mean, they have nothing to base off of. He comes for the first time. Like, what are you gonna base it off of? You can't just say, "Oh, Darby Allin once spat in my face when I was in WWE." You can't make up shit like that. You just say,
"Why not? Why can't you make?"
That is stupid. No, that is stupid. You better start.
You make up
wrestling. Wrestling. I think it is fine. It wasn't an exciting promo. It wasn't nothing special. Like CM Punk, face CM Punk is gonna have, in my opinion, worse promos than heel CM Punk. I think that's just me though. So he did what was fine. He had a good pop. Wasn't as big as Chicago, of course. I think there's still gonna be a honeymoon phase on like CM Punk chance. I don't know when it will end. But right now, everybody's just excited to see CM Punk.
Oh yeah. Also, Eric, CM Punk retired the nickname "Voice of the Voiceless."
Yes, I did have that in my notes because he doesn't have to speak. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is a show of a lot of WWE references, and
yes.
he said, "I'm retiring the name Voice of the Voiceless because you people have a voice, and the people backstage listen."
Gross.
So
he's pandering. Great, Punk.
Oh yeah, he's pandering.
Don't make me sick of your promos this quickly, Punk.
You better stop hating.
I have a very bold prediction for All Out, but
we'll keep that for the prediction show.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I do have a prediction about it.
Neither of us, Cody, can ever give bold predictions and if we're going to shit on Dom all the time for his and have him be like really dumb, so it better be good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I will. Don't worry. Next Saturday.
I'm just gonna quickly just say again. I'm just gonna reiterate. I think Darby's completely the wrong opponent for Punk. I think it makes no sense because I don't think either of these guys are in a position where they can lose. Obviously, Darby is again a babyface, one of their biggest babyface. They gave him Sting as his not like. I guess I'm just gonna call Sting his muscle because he's not really his manager, and he's also more than a valet. So I'm just gonna call him his muscle. They gave him Sting. He held the TNT title for a while. He's being pushed. He doesn't lose very much, so he can't. I don't think he can lose on pay-per-view. And also, you really are you're really gonna beat CM Punk in his first match. I almost think this match they're just like the only way they can really get out of it is if they have like a fuck finish or an angle. But then again, like you can't mess with Punk's first match. I I think this is a horrible matchup for Punk's. Why is a baby like? Because also the big thing, why is a babyface fighting a babyface? They do that all the time in AEW. Babyfaces fight babyfaces and heels fight heels, and it makes no sense. Like Punk needs to come in against a heel, so that if he wins, there's nobody. If he wins, there's going to be people that say, "Oh, Punk's is coming back and he's burying."
You're gonna say that.
I'm not
gonna say that.
But I understand that that's the right decision. I understand that I think is the right decision. I think Punk should win against anybody. But the fact that they're making it one of their top baby faces, I think is ridiculous.
Well, you gotta make it credible.
And I'm not going to.
And I think it's CM Punk's call, and he wants to have the first match with.
I don't think so. I don't think he's like, oh, I want to face Darby Allin.
Yeah, let's be honest. There's at least 10 people in AEW that would be a better opponent than Darby.
But I'm pretty sure it's CM Punk's call who he wanted to have the first match.
I'm sure he had say in it, but I don't think I think of everybody in AEW. I don't think he's like, give me Darby Allin.
Yes, I'm 100% saying that, and I'm trying to make my face visible because of this AW review thing. But I'm 100% saying that he has referenced Darby Allin and how much he likes his matches in the past. Him just saying that he would be a fan of him when he was younger. I think that just shows, like, hey, this is the guy CM Punk wanted to wrestle.
So are we like now? Are we like telling? Are we saying, CM Punk, you have the right to pick whoever you want to
Yes,
fight?
I'm 100%.
You know what? I'd buy that. If it came out that part of Punk's contract said you get to pick who you want to feud with, and we won't.
100%. Yes.
I believe it. I think to get CM Punk in AEW, I think he got whatever the hell he wanted. Like I think he's probably making he's probably making 8 figures, and he's probably getting a double-digit royalty on merch.
Ice cream
so
bars.
Probably. Tony Khan sits him down. He said, "Hey, Punk, we'll put whoever you want to fight, and we'll just say you can just say in your promos you would like him if you were age 15, and that's how we're gonna do these feuds."
Yeah, I've never argued. I never said, "Oh, you know what, we Punk online," but it's all we gotta get moving because we have.
I know we still have a whole crappy Raw.
Okay. I just want to talk about the Miro package real quick. Miro called out Eddie Kingston. Be his next opponent. I don't think it will be an All Out. I'd be surprised. But then again, another call out for happened tonight, which I'll talk about later for All Out, I think. And we just called Eddie Kingston and then he talked about how much his wife loves him. I just want to say Miro is great, and I'm excited to see him against another person that that wrestled tonight. That's all I say about that.
I immediately. So it was funny because I was thinking. During the CM Punk segment, I was thinking, where's Miro? He's the TNT champion. Where is he? Like you have to have. I feel like you should have your champion, no matter what kind of champion they are on almost every show. And I'm like, is he nowhere to be found? In the video package showed up.
He was there, and he did a call out. So we'll have a match.
Okay, but I was thinking that before that. So
talking about matches, and Eddie Kingston, of course, and Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. We have Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston against the Wingmen, which consists of the old man Cesar, who was an NXT.
Cesar Bononi.
Yes. Yes. He was like 6'4". Then Bailey's former boyfriend. No, that's somebody else. My bad.
Just had to name drop Bailey.
Dolph Ziggler's brother, and Peter Avalon.
Ryan Nemeth?
Yeah, Ryan Nemeth.
Is it Nick? No?
Nick is Dolph.
No, his name is Ryan Nemeth, the Hollywood Hot?
He's like the Hollywood Hunk or something.
Hunk, yeah, that's what it is. The Hollywood Hunk. And some old man was there too with Brian. Yeah. So
this was I'll just stop down. This is boring. This is so boring.
I enjoyed.
I also don't get what's Jon Moxley's character.
He bites old people. He bit the old man.
There's conspiracies going on that his character actually is a cokehead. Because a couple weeks ago he cut a promo and like intentionally multiple times he was like sniffing and like wiping his hands. Like people like no, his character legit is a cokehead.
It's not a cokehead. You stop it.
No, of course it's not legitimately. It's literally his gimmick is I think what it's always been. He's just a crazy guy.
That's funny. That is funny.
Look it up. Look it up.
I don't get his character at all. I think it's pretty dumb. I think he should be in. Dumb. Dumb. What is cool about his character?
Okay, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's dumb. And when you talk about, what is he actually doing? He has a segment later in the show explaining what he will do. So you just paying attention. You don't pay attention. That's what it seems like to me. He bit an old man, and then he had the coffin doctor win the match. By the way,
who was this old man?
I don't know.
What do you look like?
I'll get a picture. 1 second.
What do you look like?
Give me talk about something else while I get the picture.
I honestly lost interest as soon as Jon Moxley came out. If I'm being honest, I think he's boring right now. I think he's been boring since he lost the title, basically. And then he just wins matches and then he drinks beer after the match. Like, you're not Stone Cold. You're not like Darby. Why is Darby Allin in this match? I know Darby. Is this the match I was right that Darby Allin got attacked? Darby Allin got attacked after the match against the guy that fought Jon Moxley.
Daniel Garcia. I was gonna get to it, but you went. Yeah. Anyways.
You told us to talk, so I'm talking with your bad connection.
Good point.
So yeah, Darby Allin gets attacked after the match. So like, Darby Allin's in what is he in 4 feuds at once right now?
2.
It's just,
they like putting the kid on TV. What can you say?
Good point.
And then you're gonna let him either lose
and like what are you gonna do this week? Put him on TV in the segment with the guy that he's fighting at the pay-per-view, or put him in a random 6-way? Obviously, you put him in a random 6-way.
It was a fun 6-way. Leave it alone. Here's the old man.
Wait, what? Wait.
That's the old man. He bit.
Okay, I have no clue who that is. Is that one of the guys? I don't want to sound really stupid, but is that one of the guys from Bear Country? Maybe. No, it's not.
No. He's with the wingman. He's with the wingman.
Oh well, not important. All
right, yeah. This match wasn't anything to write home.
Yeah, I'll just quickly say I've never ever been a fan. Even back when he was Dean Ambrose, I've never liked his matches. His matches are all the same. I'm gonna brawl for a little bit. We're gonna go out to the floor for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna come in and I'm gonna win. That's all his matches are.
Well, I'm glad my mom's not watching this because she would.
I understand it, and I understand that he's no doubt he's really over. He's really over. He should be on TV, and because of what a big name he is in the business, he should be winning. I'm just saying he's not my taste, but a lot of things with AEW that I have a problem with, I'll fully admit, there's an audience for everything, and AEW is an audience that's gonna that likes everything they put on, and there's nothing wrong with that. AEW, you got to give it to them. They know their audience, and they know that no company does it better when it comes to just giving your audience what they want to see than AEW, and they want to see Jon Moxley. So what can you say?
Yeah. The best thing about Jon Moxley is the wild thing.
Wow. Oh, I love the entrance. I love entrances.
One of the best things. That's the best thing. That's the best thing about Jon Moxley. Right?
Okay. Anyways, next, Bunny and Ty Conti had a segment.
This was the worst thing that happened.
let me finish. Bunny and Ty Conti had a segment. So basically, Bunny hey, look at Dark Order. She agrees with Cody and Eric. They suck. She wants them to join the Matt Hardy Empire, and then Ty Conti just tries to beat up the Bunny. And Bunny and Ty Conti are gonna have a match on Friday, so we're gonna talk about that as well. Yay!
I have a question: Is that girl? Was she in NXT at all? She looks familiar.
I don't know.
Yes, and she was part of the Women's Classic, Mae Young Classic.
Okay.
Mae Young.
That's very dumb. Yes. But this was stupid. This was very dumb.
And they're gonna. I think both of them are gonna be in the buy-in Casino Royale.
Yeah, we all know who's winning the buy-in. So
I haven't looked at I didn't pay attention to the card. Who's winning? 9 announced.
Thunder Rosa's winning. Thunder Rosa's winning.
Oh yeah, Thunder Rosa's. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Good.
But we keep that for the next.
Wait. The winner of the Casino Battle Royal gets a title shot, right?
Yes.
So we get Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker again.
It's good.
It's good, but
it's good, but we don't like rematches. We don't.
It's a good match.
It's going to be trash on WWE. We have to trash on AEW.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good match because Thunder Rosa's really good, Britt Baker's good, but this will be their 4th match this year.
They don't have anybody to go.
I mean, maybe she won't win, but we're already trashing on the hypothetical.
Yeah.
Hypothetical. So we need to stop. We need to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Christian had a segment with Omega. Of course, the whole crew came out except the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. Don Callis is great. I like his segment. He name dropped Vince McMahon. Wow.
Ooh, interesting.
Wow. Did you catch that, Cole?
Actually, this was probably my favorite segment of the night, just because first Don Callis name dropped Vince McMahon, and then he said, "You think you know me?" Through referencing.
Yes,
I love that.
I had it in my notes. You beat me to it.
And then he said, Christian, you just at like All Out, you'll be like this your entire career, just finishing second best. Referencing the Edge again.
Was this all a Don, like this is all things Don Callis said?
Yes.
God, I love Don. Didn't I tell you guys I love Don Callis' program?
You did. It was good. I don't understand the feud with the whole Don Callis and Christian background. Maybe I'll have to watch it.
There was like a really weird thing where like Kenny Omega was 10 or something, and then
I don't understand.
Christian,
if Christian and Don Callis have any sort of history, it'll probably be Impact related because I think
it was farther back apparently.
It was like a long time ago.
Oh,
Christian was like 15 or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just stupid. I just don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. So someone can explain it to us.
Eric will.
The Connection Kingdom.
No. Eric, hello. Eric will explain it to us next show. That's your job. That's your home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your homework for the week.
This is what I've been wanting to get into because Cody's like, what is Moxie gonna? He told us what he's gonna do. He was waiting for a mail, and one person from New Japan wants to fight him, and that is Kojima.
Yeah.
If you don't know Kojima, he loves bread. He's a cozy lariat, and he's a veteran. Last time was faced a New Japan guy. 1-on-1 was who was it?
Wasn't it Kenta? No.
No. Blue Justice. What Justice? Eric, help me out here.
Oh, me.
If you guys notice, I don't watch New Japan.
I know you don't watch New Japan. It's not important. We got to get rolling here. We still have an entire.
Okay. But he's gonna face the Breadman, Kojima. But it wasn't advertised. Shortly after they advertised all the matches, and Mr. Breadman wasn't there, so I'm confused. That's all.
I don't think it should be an All Out, if I'm being honest.
I'm not saying
that would be two matches with no storyline at all in your match, in your pay-per-view.
I mean, the storyline is he hates the veterans of New Japan. He wants to be
the other thing you also have to consider AEW fans aren't necessarily like all WWE fans that transferred over. They're all people that have religiously watched the indies, and indie shows. There's usually never a feud, or at least any sort of long-term storyline in the indies. So this is so it's kind of the product that AEW fans are used to and love to see matches that don't really have much build. Sometimes it's just two guys they like having a match.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the Gun Club versus the Factory.
Oh God, this was a match.
Yes, this was a match. And guess what? And you see it right. The Gun Club won against the Factory.
Well, of course, because heels never win on Dynamite. But
they're building that Big Show match for
the Gun Club, a group nobody. I'll bet you a lot of people that watch AEW don't even know who the Gun Club is because I think they do a lot of their work on AEW Dark and the Factory, who literally no one cares about them. Literally,
I care about them because
if Anthony Ogogo's not there, I do not care about the Factory at all.
Well, one of them dated Bailey, and I'm very.
And then do you know they're undefeated, right, in AEW? The Gun Club? The Gun Club. They're now 13-0.
Yeah.
They were 12-0 going into that match when they won.
You better stop.
No, because one of the Gun kids, I forget which one, is like 24-0, but it's all dark matches. But yeah.
I need to watch more dark.
I totally believe they're undefeated.
I need to watch more dark.
This was a dumb match. Big Show was on commentary, or Paul White.
Yeah, no more BS.
Building his match against that guy that we really don't care about.
QT
I'll probably go to the bathroom during that match.
The match won't. It's not going to last long. You might need to take a really quick bathroom break. So I don't think that match is going very long.
If I miss it, oh well. All right, Dom. This is main event time, right?
No. Shows me that you're not paying attention. Because next we have Ethan Page, Scorpio.
This was stupid. This was stupid last week. It was stupid this week.
You missed it. Come on, Cody.
No, I remember seeing it, and I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know. That's what I said. He's an old man.
And his promos don't make any sense. I don't know what he's trying to say.
Oh man, they have messed Scorpio Sky up.
And Ethan Page.
He was one of my favorite guys on the entire roster. He's so good, and they put him with Ethan Page, who's also really good. And this could have been a really good duo, or like they could have been a really good tag team, but I don't think they've won a single match as a duo. I think they might have won like a 2-on-1 handicap match against Darby or something, but like they lose all the time. There's no point to them.
Yeah, good point. Next,
Don doesn't have much to say.
I don't have much. Even I don't have much to say. But next we have the main event. Cody, you can go ahead.
Can I just say before we start, if this match went longer than 3 minutes, then this is really stupid.
No, I think it started. I think it started like 9:53. So
before we get into the match, can we just talk about that entrance? Look at this man.
He has the best entrance in AEW easily.
In all of wrestling. Look at this.
No, wrestling.
Who has a better entrance?
I can't think of that right now.
Yeah, see.
I like Sasha Banks' entrance better than that.
Did you say you like Sasha Banks' entrance better than that?
But Dom, you also said Goldberg has like the sickest entrance of all time.
No, so. I said hype. I said there's a difference. There's a difference. You need to understand.
Okay, well, this was a squash match. I don't like that Arn Anderson had the towel to throw in about a minute in. And I thought that was pretty.
What?
Arn Anderson was so he was at ringside. He had a white towel he was going to throw in the towel like a minute into the match. It was really dumb.
And you know as soon as they walk in and Arn Anderson has a towel, you know that means that because Arn Anderson's on TV a lot, and I don't think he's ever had a white towel with him. So there's only one reason he'd come with a white towel. He
didn't throw the towel in, and then Brock flushed, and then Malachi also kicked Arn Anderson, and then I don't know who came out. I don't know who that was.
I got you. Lee Johnson come out, and Molly. Eric is already disappointed. Lee Johnson comes out, and get this, Malachi Black retreated, and that was the end of the show. Yes,
he retreated to Lee Johnson. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, they're gonna ruin Malachi Black. I'm telling you right now. Lee Johnson's nothing.
Lee Johnson came to the rescue. Malik didn't fight. He just stepped out the ring and he smiled, and that was the end of the show. That was your AEW.
Lee Johnson, I don't know another one. I don't know if he, other than Dark, I'm sure he wins on Dark, but on TV, I don't know that he's won a match. Why is that? Would have been a good one if he runs in and Malachi Black just lays him out.
That's what I wanted, but we don't get what we want sometimes.
But that makes him look so dumb. If he's walking away, if he's retreating from this jobber, like let me think. I'm going to think of an analogy from WWE to try to like. It's like if Roman Reigns backed down. God, who even? I don't even know.
Ricochet.
Maybe Ricochet. No, Ricochet wins some matches. Lee Johnson wins no. It's like It's like Leon Ruff. That was on just got
released. It's not in WWE anymore though.
But back then, but how they presented him, it's like if Roman Reigns backed down from Leon Ruff.
That'd be funny.
Okay, I think that's the show. It wasn't very good. I think it was one of the worst AEWs. It was one of the worst AEWs I've watched personally. But
he's not mad.
Well, speaking of bad shows.
Wait, let me transition. So
yes.
Monday Night Raw.
And it's still blocking down. Okay, so Monday Night Raw from August 23rd. Wow. Geez, where to start? no better place to start than the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the opening segment. Just the segment. We'll get into the opening match later. The opening segment, I actually had some hope for the show because Lashley and MVP come out, and that's always just a good way to start. Just like start with your champion, especially with a mouthpiece as good as MVP. And MVP cuts a pretty good promo. Like it wasn't his best, but it was good. It was a good one. Like it definitely got the crowd a little bit hot with heat against MVP and Lashley, which is good. And so far it's like this is a pretty solid opening. The one small gripe I have: why is MVP still wearing a Hurt Business chain when they're not a thing anymore? And
he needs to have his ice on. You gotta have ice. He's the pimp. He's a pimp.
Still, and he's the one that broke up the Hurt Business, so it doesn't make too much sense. But then also, when they keep making a big deal about how Lashley is such a piece of crap for hurt locking Gage, I thought to myself, he was attacked from behind. Isn't that technically, even though he's 15, isn't that technically just self-defense?
That was my point.
Why are we all getting on Lashley when like Gage didn't need to? What's Gage doing charging him anyway? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? But anyway, so yeah, the good promo, and you know that this is setting up. So you keep saying like, because MVP's insulting Goldberg, he's insulting the city, so you know somebody's coming out, which I thought would be Goldberg. I was really surprised Goldberg was not on the show at all.
Thank God.
But then it's Damian Priest, and my first reaction was, okay, this is interesting because I like Damian Priest. But it's like, oh wait, no, because that means this is going to be the match, and one of them probably has to lose. And it made no sense. And they have a little back and forth where at first, why would you put Damian Priest, who's not very good on the mic, in a promo war against MVP, who's really good on the mic? For the first 30 seconds, I thought MVP was making Damian Priest look pretty stupid. Because he was because Damian Priest is doing the whole pandering to the crowd. You're going to come here and you're going to call all these people cowards. And MVP's like, yeah, because they're cowards. And he did it 3 different times. And I'm like, MVP's really my note. Oh no, get the mic out of Damian's hands. He's looking really out of his league next to MVP. But then he ended it pretty well. The match, and then they make the match official. And I mean, we even said it to each other, there's no way this match is actually happening. It's not.
Well, speaking of that,
we're not even at that point yet because because the Damian Priest Bobby Lashley match actually happened. I timed it, which by the way, did he, I know we talked about that I was going to do this, but I didn't watch AEW. Did either of you guys do the time the bell to bell in AEW?
Man, it was a lot longer than Raw. I can tell you that.
Anyway, so they have the match, and it lasts, I timed it, 1 minute and 18 seconds before Sheamus interferes for the DQ. So at least they got it right that this match shouldn't have had any sort of decisive finish that cheapens either of these two. And now you know, okay, who what babyface is going to come out? Now Goldberg's going to probably come out and save Damian Priest, right? No, got mine and Cody's favorite guy, good old Drew McIntyre coming out to make the save.
Yes, I love Drew.
I have statements on that.
Yeah, I can't, which I can't wait for, by the way. So my note says, Damian Priest gets momentum, Sheamus comes in for the DQ, Drew McIntyre makes a save, incoming tag team to be made during the break. And then they go to break at a terrible time, by the way. I hate how and this is a show-wide thing. I hate how they come in and out of breaks, but they go in and out of breaks. They go to break, match is made during the break, and they have a match. And anything. I know I'm kind of going on here, but do you guys anything you guys want to chime in?
I have an official statement from my. I have officially chosen that me, Cody, I hate Drew McIntyre. I am sick of him. He needs to go somewhere else. He needs to go to SmackDown, go to NXT, go to AEW. I don't care. He needs to get off this goddamn Raw roster because he ruins the show for me. He really does.
I turned off the Raw review segment so you can see my face to show you how disappointed I am in you. You need to stop. He's a folk hero. What do you not understand?
Folk hero? What the hell?
That's why he has the sword. He's a folk hero.
Yeah, that sword needs to be shoved up.
So what do you want him to be? You want him to just be another tough guy who can't speak on the mic?
I want him. Yeah, he's terrible on the mic.
I'm not disputing that. That's what I'm saying. Is that what you want him to be?
But like he how many times have he fought Bobby Lashley for the title, lost, and now we're doing this again? He's gonna get a rematch.
No,
he can't possibly. I'll be so disappointed if they do that because here's a note that I made at the very beginning of the match. So like it's happening, but why is this match happening? Because who is his opponent? Who's his opponent coming out of the match? It can't be Lashley because the stipulation in Drew's last title match was if Drew loses, he cannot challenge Lashley for the title ever again. So that cannot happen. And I think Sheamus, since he attacked Damian Priest, that's that feud. Damian Priest is going to be with Sheamus. So I don't know what business Drew really has in here other than it was probably we wrote this entire episode of Raw and Drew McIntyre's nowhere to be found. Where can we shoehorn him in?
We do have a glimmer of hope though. Because later on, because of how the Dom, you can go to the match part.
There is the match.
Because like the match is boring, let's be honest. But Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley walks out on Sheamus,
which made no sense.
It sets up. It does make no sense, but it sets up a little rift between Sheamus and Bobby Lashley after they decide to tag together to save each other's ass. So I have a glimmer of hope it could be Sheamus next pay-per-view, even though heel on heel I don't usually like that. Anything for Drew McIntyre not to be involved in this, I would appreciate it.
So for me, the match, as far as the actual match goes, the match was pretty boring because you know exactly it's a Raw opening match. You know exactly what's going to happen. But my big gripes, Damian Priest looked so bad in this match. Not from like a technical wrestling standpoint, but from every time he was in there, he just got his ass kicked. he was getting ragdolled and just he was down for like most of it. And then so there was a point where they go to break. So you guys know how they a lot of the times they'll go to break when the babyface gets hit and it'll be like, oh, how like what's the babyface gonna do now? We'll be right back kind of thing.
They did the
opposite. They did the complete opposite. Lashley got like I forget what the move was, but Lashley got like thrown onto the announce table or something, and they did the exact opposite. They're like, "Can the WWE champion recover?" They pitched to the break as if Bobby Lashley was a babyface, and it made no sense at all. I was like, no?"
Yeah, no, I remember that because it was a terrible botch or something because Drew McIntyre flipped him over and he landed like right on his neck.
Yeah, but they pitched to the break as if Bobby Lashley was the babyface. That's just getting into television, and that's just. It's no secret that WWE commentators are just the absolute worst ever.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that, like the commentator team.
Except Pat McAfee, but also
and Corey Graves. I'm gonna talk about how much I love Corey Graves at some point. I love Corey Graves, but anyway, back to the match. The only way this would have made sense is if Damian Priest pinned Sheamus because Drew McIntyre shouldn't get the pin since he has no clear direction with any of these other three guys. But then Damian Priest gets his ass kicked, and Bobby Lashley walks out for literally no reason. I think he got hit on the outside by somebody, and he walked out on Sheamus for no reason. And then the worst part, Bobby Lashley walks out, and Damian Priest is the legal man. So it's like, okay, at least Damian Priest is gonna get the pin now. He tags in Drew McIntyre for no reason, so Drew McIntyre can get the pin.
He's a nice guy. He's like, oh,
so like. It made absolutely no sense for the booking of Damian Priest in this match. None. He looked terrible the whole time. Like all this, the only good thing about it, the only positive I can take away from it is like at SummerSlam I was saying you can't put drawn out heat on Damian Priest because he doesn't get the reaction from the crowd. He got the reactions from the crowd today, so at least it looked fine that he was getting heat on him because the crowd was behind him. But it never really built to any big comeback for him. Like. He got a couple strikes, like a couple good moves in, but then he's tagged Drew in for a hot tag. It was
also before we move on to I want to make a note that Pat McAfee will not be on SmackDown this week. He tested positive for COVID.
Oh no!
He will be out for 2 weeks. And I just want to say, Bayley was trending on Twitter. If they are smart, if WWE is smart, they will put Bayley on the commentary booth.
You bet. Yes. Yes, do it now! No! Please!
I wanted to say that just because I have nothing else to say about this match.
Because Bayley's amazing. Okay.
So Dom, do you have before we move on, Dom, do you have any thoughts on the opening? This was probably the first 20 minutes of the show.
I was thinking to myself, I have to watch another 2.5 hours of this. And then segment happened.
Yeah. So let's talk really quick about this piece of television gold we got here. Luckily, it was only like 30 seconds. Dude dropped backstage with it Is it still Charlie Caruso that's doing the backstage interviews?
Somebody.
No, that's Caleb. It's Caleb Braxton.
Caleb Braxton backstage with Dewdrop, trying to basically asking what everyone's dying to know after SummerSlam. What's up with you and Eva Marie? Like I don't know about you guys. I've been waiting anxiously since Saturday to find out what's going on with those two. And Dewdrop says exactly what you think. I don't remember exactly because I wasn't paying too much attention. She says oh yeah, I don't probably something I don't like her because she's mean to me. And then Eva Marie comes in, they brawl for a couple seconds, and which was actually to Eva Marie's credit. This wasn't terrible brawling because all she's doing is pounding her head against that little thing that she's. Okay, here's something. Do you guys remember how the brawl happened? How Eva Marie pushed that huge cart? She pushed that right in front. How did Dewdrop not see that coming?
Also, talking about Dewdrop, I just want to point out with the promo, she said that she likes the name Dewdrop because she's gonna Dewdrop on Eva Marie.
I forgot about that.
I also am surprised just because I didn't actually think she was turning face. I just thought it was like
yeah. It seemed very sudden to actually fully do the turn.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they brawl for a couple seconds, and then the payoff for this whole thing. I know that if WWE knows their fans, they know that the fans just love when the wrestlers curse. So Eva Marie beats her up, and Dewdrop looks up and she goes bitch, and I wrote in my notes, oh my god, Dewdrop said bitch.
Exactly. You know why that surprised me? Because I remember vividly it's saying PG TV, and I'm like, can they say bitch on PG TV?
Sure, but here's the thing: they think that that's how they really edge up their promos is they throw in bitch.
No, I mean it's not the edging part. I'm just
if you notice, I want you guys to start. If you're not already paying attention for this little thing, start every time they curse, whether they say bitch or jackass or bullshit. Every single time they hold it, they say it and then they pause because they're waiting for because they want to go. Oh, it's
pause.
Also, I'm glad we don't have to wait too long because this match was happening next week on Raw.
Yeah,
so I'm actually happy. I'm being serious when I say that. I'm happy that we're not getting this on Extreme Rules.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. Next is something I've been wanting to talk about. First things first. What is this?
Oh my god!
What is this?
That's something they mess up their NXT call-ups in a lot of ways, but something recently they've been doing that I get a lot of pleasure out of. How they're going to change up their ring gear. Because remember Keith Lee when he first got called up and he was wearing a legit, just a skirt and a cutoff hoodie. What the fuck are they doing?
I like the cutoff hoodie.
And then they put Karrion Kross in that weird mask, and he hasn't always worn the cross leather, right?
I think that was worse. I think that was worse.
That was the worst. The worst part of it was the cross leather.
I'm telling. I said I think I have to look back in the chat. I call it a BDSM mask because that's what it reminds me of. To be a gladiator character.
I'm very upset with how Ricochet's treated. He's just so good in the ring. It's just so upsetting. I have nothing else because Karrion Kross is
You know what's unfortunate? It's confirmed that Ricochet is a mid-card jobber.
He's been a mid-card jobber.
Well, I just wanted to.
I had hope after Money in the Bank when he did crazy spots that maybe, just maybe, Vince would give him a shot, but nope.
But I actually think WWE's kind of smart for not really giving him a huge push because here's the thing: he worked in NXT because NXT fans are really big high spot fans, and Ricochet might be the best high spot guy in the world. He does his high spots are insane. But once you get up to the main roster, and this is why a lot of the NXT guys fail and why they're never given a chance, is once you get to the main roster, if you're going to be something, you have to be able to talk. Ricochet's got no charisma on the mic. His promos are awful, awful, awful. He has no character. So so just based on that, his ceiling in WWE really is mid-card jobber that every 6 months will get in a feud and might win the United States title once or twice in his career.
Has he?
Yeah, he was the United States champion. He was already the U.S. champion. But
I blinked and missed
it. Ceiling. Until he commits to getting good on the mic, he's reached his ceiling.
Let's say this: he's the Ben Simmons.
No, bad comparison. You need to stop. Stop it right now.
Yeah, but as far as the match is concerned, I don't have the exact time for this match bell to bell, but it was less than 3 minutes. Now, I was worried at first, not because I wanted Ricochet to get squashed, but like since it's carrying cross, he needed to get squashed. And it looked like, and he got a flurry at the beginning that made me think, okay, they're going to really make this, like an 8 or 9 minute back and forth where carrying cross is going to have to like throw the kitchen sink at it. But no, it's like a 3-minute match. Ricochet got a little flurry, which was fine. But then, carrying cross quickly cuts him off, hits a couple moves, and chokes him out. And I thought for if that's what you like, you got to push carrying cross, not necessarily push him, but when he debuts, you've got to give him a chance to get over because of where he's coming from and what he was in NXT. And I think it's matches like that where he comes out looking really strong. I think I think it was a really good piece of business.
I do have another thing to say. Karrion Kross is the worst submission finisher in wrestling I've ever seen.
Oh, no, man.
He literally barely puts it. He goes, and then they tap out. I'm like, yeah, that's all I have.
All right, next we have. I know a good friend of ours really was looking forward for this.
Yeah.
No name drop.
I'm gonna start off by saying I've never been a fan of WWE talk shows. So my note for this is Logan Paul on Moist TV. Thankfully, I don't need to watch this because I know Cody will.
Moist TV is better than Miss TV. Moist TV is better than Miss TV.
All right, but we don't really have to talk about this. Logan Paul got booed out of the building. It was funny to see how he reacted to it because I don't think he was expecting it. I know Vince wasn't expecting it. What? Why are they booing?
That's a good impression.
And then we have the big wait, no, there was a match, right?
Yeah,
A match did come from this. Do you want to say something about Moist TV?
I wanted to say something about Moist TV. I really like the bickering between Miz and Morrison right before Mr. Xavier Woods came out. He didn't have the squirt gun, the big squirt gun. The Moist
Dripstick
2000.
He didn't have the Dripstick 2000, but he did come out like usual. About Logan Paul, I just wanted to say, apparently he's rumored to go into wrestling. I hope not, because he did not know how to react. He didn't play to the crowd at all.
I don't think that's a rumor. I think that just you don't want him to go into wrestling.
I don't, because he's gonna be bad. He showed me like he has no talk. He has no connection with the crowd. He should have ends up with the crowd. If you're getting booed, that's what you do. If he really wants to get into professional wrestling, he's not so good. But anyways.
So before we get to the match, I did this. I wish I wrote down the actual quote because all I have here. This is the first. I said I was going to talk about how I love Corey Graves. So under the note I made on Moist TV, without putting the quote, and I'm really mad at myself. This is the first time on my notes where I said, "Am I the only one who absolutely loves Corey Graves?" Just wanted to throw that in there that I love Corey Graves. I just don't remember what he said. And then when Xavier Woods' music hits, then the very next note on this is verbatim on my note sheet. Oh fuck no, not Xavier Woods. Fuck my life. I hate this. No. Fuck this. Oh god. Oh shit. This sucks.
New Day walks, by the way, and Xavier and Miz had a match. This match was meh.
This match was longer than it should have been, honestly.
Oh yeah. You said it was like what was the count?
This match ended up being like not including the break, obviously, but bell to bell, this might have been the longest match of the night. Honestly, this was like I want to say this match got like 12 minutes.
Yeah, I do love watching the worst wrestler of the New Day wrestle.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Xavier Woods because
we can actually do a little bit of math here because after my notes on this match, this is when I said, okay, it's halfway through the show. We have 22 and a half minutes of bell to bell action so far. So that does leave because we had about a minute and a half of Lashley and Damian Priest, and then probably like 10 minutes of that tag match, 3 minutes of Karrion Kross. So yeah, this got like 9-10 minutes, which was just ridiculous. That for and it's not even a feud. It's not even really a feud. Xavier Woods.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We'll talk. Yeah. It's holy horses.
Yeah. So like for a match that it was clearly from the beginning, even if you didn't know about what was going to happen post match, you knew that this match was really going to be just about highlighting the growing dissension between Johnny Morrison. Why did I call him Johnny Morrison? That was
Johnny Morrison.
I was like, why is he calling him Johnny?
I got stuck between John Morrison and Johnny Drip Drip. But But yeah, so it was all about the growing tension between those two. So it only really needed to be like 5 minutes for them to do a little back and forth. Miz to kind of take control for a second, and then John Morrison do something weird to kind of cost Miz the match, which did end up happening, but just after 10 minutes of back and forth with two wrestlers that I don't really think anybody gave it. Do you think of the tens of thousands of people that are in there, did anybody walk into that building going, God, I hope I see Xavier Woods tonight?
I'm sure there's that one mark that Willie was.
Little kids probably.
He's like, yeah,
probably not actually, because they're like, oh, it's Xavier Woods, not Kofi,
not Kofi, not Biggie. Yeah. Talking about what happened after the match, big surprise. The turn happened.
But to contextualize what prompted the turn, though, is Xavier Woods and Miz were locked up, and Xavier Woods was technically in between where Morrison and Miz are, and Morrison had the drip stick and he was going to spray him. He sprayed both guys ducked, which I thought was weird. I thought for sure it was going to be Xavier Woods ducks and then Miz gets hit, but no, they both ducked and then Woods rolled Miz up or something, and so technically Morrison cost Miz the match, which led to this.
And here's the face that says it all. Look at that face on Morrison. Look at that. I commend him. That was actually a pretty good heel turn. I think I talked to you guys both.
Oh, is that your opinion? Because I was gonna say.
Let me. I was gonna say.
No, I'm just surprised.
That wasn't my initial reaction, but I slept on it. I'm glad I get to sleep on it. I was like, okay, the turn itself I didn't see coming. I was like Morrison to turn on Miz instead. But the reason I say that is because it would have been a nice counterplay 2009 at the draft. Because I don't have the picture, Miz actually did turn on Morrison. And I thought it would be a cool counterplay. Morrison's like being so manipulative, because apparently Miz is being manipulative. Johnny dripped him. He's just trying to have some fun. And Morrison's like, oh, I lost one match against Xavier Woods. My world is ruined. I have to take you out. Good acting from Miz, because that man looked intense. And Morrison look at that face of that man. He's out of it. He's out of it. So Cody said it was a bit early, but in the WWE standards, they don't do long-term
booking.
They don't do it. And they're like, well, let's just do this for them. And I'm excited to see a face Morrison. But then again, I saw back in 2009, and was it really great?
He's undoubtedly better as a heel, I think. And since I agree with Dom, I'll go next so we can end with the differing opinion. I agree with Dom. I think John Morrison. I don't necessarily think that he should have been the one to turn, but I think based on the way that they were planting the seeds, it definitely seemed like Morrison was going to be the one to turn, because it was the tension was centering around John Morrison. Was like, wait, you weren't injured, and you were making me push you to the ring in this wheelchair, and I was having to do everything while you're like sitting on ass doing nothing. They were definitely planting the seeds as if Morrison was going to be the one to turn. So just based on that alone, I think Morrison should have been the one to turn. But then again, Miz being the one that's going to stay heel, it does make sense that he's the one that breaks it up, because this was a pretty these two guys were a pretty popular act. You do want the fans to be more mad at Miz at the start. When the turn happens, you want people more mad at Miz than you necessarily want them in Johnny's corner, because you're going to slowly, as the feud goes on, you're going to slowly get in Johnny's corner. Why do I keep calling him Johnny?
Johnny Drip.
Killing me. It's killing me right now. But as the feud goes on, because he's the babyface, you're inherently going to be pushed further and further into his corner. So it is a fairly effective short-term booking move to have Miz be the one that turns. I just thought it was an odd decision based on what they'd been doing.
All right.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So first off, I was like, I don't know what. I was kind of shocked when Dom said that he wasn't expecting it, because I feel like this is the most obvious thing in the world. They've been teasing it for weeks. I do agree that it's been more teased that John's going to do it, but that's what they do though, because it was teased for the Shield that Dean Ambrose was going to be the one to break up, and it ended up being Seth Rollins. They like to swerve people, but I just thought it was very. I don't think it was a bad turn. I think it was sloppy. I think Miz was very sloppy when he was Morrison was on the ground and Miz was like just flailing punches, like not even hitting the
It was intense. Look at the intensity.
He's talking about the punches, though. He's talking about the punches.
Yeah, I'm talking about the punches. It felt like
real.
He was like,
it felt real.
I don't think so. I really like in the heel turns. Like I was like, oh, this is just kind of lame.
Oh.
And like
also, I obviously we all knew it was happening, but I was a little surprised it happened this week.
That's what I was saying.
I would have thought it would have been much better if like somehow Miz ends up in the chamber and John Morrison ends up in the chamber, and somehow the Miz is holding up for the skull crushing finale and waiting for John Morrison to kick him or something, and the guy moves out of the way and John kicks Miz and he gets pinned. I feel that would have been a cooler way to do the turn than have them just break up on a Raw and probably wrestle at Extreme Rules, because I feel like this match could have been a Mania-esque match with how much history they have with each other.
But they don't.
You put Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre on SummerSlam, and the Miz and Morrison can't even get on to a main pay-per-view.
Drew McIntyre is not John Morrison is not Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry to say. That's just how it is.
Yeah, because I actually like to watch John Morrison.
Your opinion, I like them to take sides. Next, we had Mansoor.
Oh, not yet.
Oh,
No, not even close to yet. Yeah. So, actually, by this point after this match, so we had reached the 90-minute mark. We're exactly halfway through Raw, and we've had of this wrestling show. There's been 22 and a half minutes of wrestling, not including beatdowns. Just from bell to bell, we've had 22 and a half minutes through 90 minutes of the show, and that's an experiment I've been doing. I want to see how much bell to bell action both shows give us, knowing full well what the answer is going to be. We're going to need a lot more from AEW. But I think that's they wonder why people knock Raw all the time. It's because, that leaves us 66 and a half minutes of nonsense, commercials and nonsense. I'm not watching Raw for not for the crappy promos and the shitty backstage segments. I want to watch some flipping wrestling. Like, I'm not saying fill it all with wrestling, but put more wrestling in there. That's why I'm watching. But backstage segment.
This time I did.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So we had a backstage segment, which is of course why WWE thinks we're all watching for these thrilling backstage segments where Nikki ASH is talking to Rhea Ripley about tagging with her again, even though against Nia Jax, even though we just got this match last week, except this time instead of with Charlotte, it was with Shayna. So it's like, okay, so yeah, more rematches from last week's Raw that everyone's just dying to see. We all want a lot more Nikki ASH. We all want a lot more Nia Jax. That's what we're all. I'm glad WWE is giving us exactly what we want here. So that was that segment. It lasted about 2 minutes, and I didn't.
There you go. I finally have it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there really anything else to say about this segment?
I didn't even know what the segment was. So
I have a confession. I hate Nia Jax, so anytime she's on the TV, I walk out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think she's the most untalented person on the entire roster.
Oh, she's definitely one of those people. It's like you have a job because you're related.
Your family. Yeah.
It's a good argument. Afterwards,
moving right along, we had one of the greatest things ever to happen to wrestling. We had a 24/7 title segment with one of my favorite parts of Monday Night Raw is
Reggie.
watching Reggie just bounce around the world.
Dude, I love it.
He's like, what was it? It was like an ice cream truck. He's like getting ice cream, and there's like a bush walking behind him, which was going to be R-Truth. But then what got me a little bit was now Tozawa was also in a trash can, and they're like, oh, it's time I'm here to get the 24/7 title, and then Reggie jumps up into a tree, and then he like jumps down, and pops back up on top of the truck, and it's just it was cool. It's fine.
My favorite line of the night was Tarzan has nothing on you from R-Truth.
Yeah, so yeah, my note for the segment, 24/7 title segment, Reggie is awesome. That's all I wrote.
We need the 24/7. I need the 24/7 segment each Raw, because if not, then I would be very, very worried of my mental health on watching Raw weekly. Because it's the life I need.
They need to put more segments like that and put less of the stupid crap.
Yep. Talking about stupid crap.
Well, yeah. So we had a really quick segment before the next match, which was Riddle and Randy talking about how fun they're about to have at their championship celebration. And Randy says probably the funniest thing ever. He said he asked Riddle not to do something stupid, and asking Matt Riddle not to do something stupid is like asking a dog not to sniff its own ass. It's just not going to happen.
I will say I'm starting to like Riddle more. Not because
I came out of the show hating him so much more.
No. I think he needs somebody to play off him, like Randy. I don't think he would be like entertaining for me by himself, but I need somebody like Randy to play off him. So I did enjoy that segment.
I can't wait to talk about their later segments since you're saying you pick it now.
Talking about what? So what's next? Because I have
next is the Mansoor versus Jinder Mahal match.
Oh, okay.
And my first note, and this was something I found very funny. I don't if you guys didn't. That is not how you spell Mansoor. I'm almost positive.
Mansoor.
I'm pretty sure there's an A in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Mansoor. I think it's MANSOOR. But anyway, so if you guys didn't catch this live, I highly recommend going back. When Mansoor makes his entrance, there is a really obvious, really hilarious canned pop because the crowd was dead. And there's this hilarious fake pop that they piped in for television. I highly recommend going back and listening to it because it was really funny. But anyway, yeah. So this match was not good. This crowd was not good. Yeah, so this match was they started. I thought they started in the MVP and Damian Priest segment. I thought they were good. They seemed pretty alive, but yeah, this match. There was only one point for this match, I thought, and that was which I think they kind of found their way back to, and it was the whole Mustafa Ali, which I'm not even being sarcastic. Never a bad time to put him on television. I love him.
Yep, I agree.
But it was all about their whole thing with Mansoor's getting mad that Ali's kind of giving him dirty wins. He's like, I want to do this my way. That was clearly what this match was always going to be about. And as I'm finishing, because then my note says this is clearly all about Ali and Mansoor. As I'm finishing writing that, that's when Jinder gets DQ'd. Jinder goes in the corner and starts stomping him and breaks the 5 count like you have to be a complete idiot to do that because it's so obvious. And he gets DQ'd for it. And like, okay, so is this about Jinder being a bigger heel than we thought he was? Like, is he losing his mind? Is that what we're trying to follow? And then Ali comes in and for some reason thinks it's appropriate to say like something, this isn't verbatim, but something to the effect of that's what happens when you try it your way. What?
You can't
so you're telling me that if Mansoor doesn't cheat, he's going to win every match by DQ. I'll take it. I'll never lose a match again. But you're saying something about the way Mansoor carries himself and wrestles makes people just want to beat the shit out of him for a DQ. The line made no sense. That it made zero sense. Just like this whole segment, just like this whole match, just like the ending of this match, none of it made sense.
I blinked and missed it. So.
Oh yeah. So I have nothing to say about this match. I just want to give a fun fact because I learned this the other day. The Money in the Bank match that Brock Lesnar won, the Money in the Bank briefcase. Mustafa Ali was going to win that match, and
he needs to stop.
Vince McMahon told him right before he made his entrance that Brock Lesnar was winning it.
You stop right now. I will not take this.
I read that this weekend. He said right before Ali's music hit that Vince informed him that Brock would be winning instead.
Oh man! So many things here just frustrate me with that.
I love Mansoor and Ali, but I'm afraid.
I do like the dynamic. I just think they need to be in bigger matches than Jinder Mahal.
Yes, thank you. They need to have them against Riddle and Orton next. Why not?
They're not ready for that.
They don't really have like I don't know if tag team is really what like their dynamic. I don't know if a tag team match. I think it keeps needing to be singles matches where if Ali's having a singles match, he wins dirty, and if or like Mansoor does nothing to help him win dirty, and then if it's a Mansoor match, he's helping win dirty, and it's either going to be. I think what it might wind up being is Mansoor is going to end up turning heel and being like, "Oh, your way really is the way." All right, because where else is it? Or I could be wrong. It might just lead to a standard pay-per-view match between the two where Mansoor wins and we never see those two together.
I don't want Mansoor to turn heel. I think he's a good
All right, go to the next thing. We're taking way too long.
All right, go ahead.
So quickly, I made a note. Because right after this match, we got the quick backstage segment between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, where they talked about going, like they just went out to go drinking. And I said this during our SummerSlam predictions, the pandering cookie cutter babyface. Well, guess what Damian Priest said during this segment?
Bullies.
He said, no, he didn't. Yeah. Did he talk about bullies?
Probably.
He might have talked about bullies, but he definitely did say, like, I've been dreaming of this for so long. I feel like I'm finally living the dream. Like I swear every babyface United States champion in the past 3 years has cut this exact same promo, and I'm so sick of it. I instantly was like, I love Damian Priest. I really don't want to see him especially if it's going to be with Drew McIntyre. Based on that principle alone, don't want to see him. But if he's going to be cutting these types of pandering promos like everyone else does, then I really don't want to see him. I'm sick of seeing this exact same promo, this exact same mid-card champion that no one ever cares about. It's going to cool him off. Like I'm predicting now, he's going to have a really underwhelming title reign, and they're going to completely cool off any momentum he ever has. He's going to lose it and be done. Like he's not going to be a big part of main roster.
That's a solid prediction, to be honest.
I even wrote eye roll emoji. Oh, hey, Damian Priest has always dreamed of this. What do you know? Hashtag eye roll emoji.
I'm ready to talk about this next segment. I've been waiting for like the last 10 minutes. Please get to it.
Okay, so Charlotte Flair comes out, and I love Charlotte, and she cuts I thought a really great promo. Definitely the best promo on this show. I think Charlotte she talks herself up like no other. Like everything she said was great. I mean, I can't say enough good things about her promo. It was just a really, really good promo. And, you know, a lot of times these kinds of segments, they end with some sort of babyface confrontation. And Charlotte is getting ready to make her way out of the ring with nothing happening, no one interfering. And I'm like, this is perfect. Charlotte comes in, talks up a storm, gets herself over as a heel. The people boo her, and that's going to be it. And then Alexa Bliss comes out. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it says right there. It comes out to say.
And she says one word. She walks out with her stupid music and her stupid look and her stupid everything and her stupid doll. And she goes, hi.
Amazing, isn't it?
And that was the end of the segment. And here's my notes for the entire segment from start to finish. Time for Charlotte, thank God. Oh, here's something. So she said at the very beginning of the promo, she said, like, was there ever a doubt in anyone's mind that I was gonna regain the title? And I said, Dom definitely had doubt because
I did.
Yeah. So my second note up from the segment is Dom definitely had doubt. And then Charlotte's awesome, great promo. She can talk herself up like no other. Literally, don't ever stop talking. Oh fuck, not Alexa Bliss. Then that's it.
Honestly, that was my same. I thought the promo was great. The only thing I didn't like about the promo is that he played her music.
That's right. They played it at a really weird time. I remember that.
They played it and then stopped it, and she started talking again.
Yeah, I remember that actually. That was really weird.
I'm like, what's going on? And then Alexa, I'm like, oh god, this. And
you know what I bet it was. But actually, I almost want to say that whoever was cueing the music, that's probably where they meant to play Alexa's music. But they accidentally cued Charlotte's. Then Charlotte had to vamp for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, it was a good promo. Then it got ruined by what basically is revealing her next opponent.
And here's the thing: if that's her next opponent, do we think besides the fact that Charlotte's clearly just way better, do we think Alexa's really going to lose? Because this gimmick is clearly something WWE is really committed to. Do we really I don't think Alexa Bliss has lost a match, not including the Money in the Bank match, obviously, but hasn't lost a match, I don't think, since she got this gimmick. I don't know if she'd lose.
There's two things that I can see. I can see Alexa winning just because she doesn't lose usually.
Yeah.
And I can see her winning so Charlotte regains the title again and gets one step closer to breaking her dad's record.
But I mean, see, they normally do that with Charlotte, but where she loses the title and gets it back really quick, but they don't usually do it 2 times in a row. And she just
did it with Sasha,
but that was years ago. That was years ago though. They haven't done it with her that much lately, where she'll win it, lose it, win it, and then she'll lose it and be done with it for a while. But she doesn't. This would be win it, lose it, win it, lose. I don't know if they would do that. Honestly, if this is going to be the match, I think it would probably have to end in some sort of DQ. to keep the if they wanted to keep the title on Charlotte. Because I just don't, with how committed WWE has been with this gimmick, I don't know that Alexa would lose.
I have a bold prediction, of course. Alexa's gonna win, and she's gonna get a custom title like the Fiend did.
I could see it.
So it's not that bold. Okay.
No, it's actually a good. That's a good prediction. I think that would probably happen.
Thank you. I needed to hear that tonight.
I just have one thing before the segment's over. Take Shayna out of the tag division, put her in the title.
Talking about Shayna.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Is that the next match?
That is the next match. The next thing that happens is Rhea Ripley and Nikki, almost a superhero, versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. My first note: Shayna is way too good to be in. It's way too good to be involved in this.
Yeah.
This was it was, I guess, it was a fine match. Like, there wasn't anything egregiously wrong with it. It was so expected. We knew what team was gonna win. We pretty much knew how they were gonna do it. I just had a lot of problems with so there's no real reason for Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley to still be tagging together after SummerSlam unless they're the next odd couple tag team that's going to win the titles.
Nope.
So that's hopefully not going to happen because I would love Rhea Ripley as a single. And Nikki ASH doesn't need any titles ever again for the rest of her life.
Yep.
But it was like they're less than 3 minutes into the match. They go to the first break, and it made the show was just so poorly formatted. It's already a match that we don't care about. Why are you making it go? Why are you making it go over a break so we just have to watch it longer? And I was looking at my notes. The only real reason that I had any interest in this match was there was going to be interplay between Shayna and Rhea Ripley, which I was really excited for, and their interplay was good. It just proved why neither of them should be involved with the other two people. It's like those two just need to be singles, especially Shayna. They've done such a disservice to Shayna since they called her up. It's embarrassing. She's so good.
I have a dumb bold prediction. This is what's gonna happen. Nikki Ash and Rhea are gonna tag for a little while. Even though we don't want it, they're gonna do it. They're gonna fight for the tag team championships, and Rhea's gonna turn heel on Nikki.
I wouldn't mind. Wouldn't mind at all.
That's fine. Cool.
And another note that I made is Nia Jax's new gimmick just female Rikishi, because she was all about shaking her ass and shoving it in people's faces.
I mean, she doesn't have to move that much, so that's probably why.
And then, so obviously, the finish. I wrote after the finish, the team we all knew would win won, but they made sure to make Nia and Shayna look nice and stupid before they did it. Because I don't remember what the exact finish was, but it was something to the effect where Nia Jax somehow wound up doing a splash and she landed on Shayna and then got dumped out of the ring somehow, and Shayna got pinned. And just, why?
Yeah, I have no interest in this match.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember any of it. I just remember telling myself, Shayna Baszler was the one who destroyed the Elimination Chamber, 2020. Right before the pandemic, and now look at her right when the fans are back. What a fucking transition in the pandemic she had. That was honestly, I would argue she had the worst pandemic in wrestling. Is that a good argument or
I'm sure somebody else that got unemployed.
I mean, okay. In terms of good point. In terms of character.
I don't know if you can necessarily. You can't necessarily say that the reason that
I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying through the look at the start of the pandemic.
Okay. So you're talking about the pandemic, just era of wrestling.
Yes. No, I'm not talking about the pandemic is the reason Shayna's ruined. I'm saying the beginning of the pandemic. I think this was maybe.
You're frozen again.
Before it was an elimination chamber where Shayna literally squashed everyone. We come back.
Was that before the pandemic though? Was that way before? I feel like her and
No. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Mr. Fact Check, Mr. Eric is gonna tell me I'm right.
Well, she won. She won the year. I don't think she won. Are you saying she won last year's chamber?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
2020 chamber. Yes.
The year she won the chamber, I believe, was the year she faced Becky. for the title at Mania?
Yes, and that was 2020.
Was that last year? Was that last year?
Yes, it was.
Huh.
You guys are you guys.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I just don't remember that. I thought that was 2 years ago. I thought that was
I have bold predictions and a great memory. It's just how it works.
I'll take your word.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a really funny note, and I think this proves that the people that write WWE aren't they call them creative, but they're not creative at all. They're trying to write a comedy show, but they're not funny at all. So this is a title celebration, by the way. There's a title celebration for the new Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro. How'd they not? They're really not creative enough back there to call it a celebration. How fucking? I thought of that. Guess how long that took me to come up with?
2 seconds. But I didn't. To be fair, I didn't think of it. But I
didn't think of it either. That was pretty good.
Come on, if you're gonna do shit, go all the way with it.
That is good though.
That's good. I'll give you that thing.
And then my next note, I hope I never have to hear Matt Riddle talk ever again. Dom, I cannot. I am so disappointed that you said after this show you like Matt Riddle more than you did.
I like him with Randy because I feel like he compliments him. I like the he has good one-liners. He has good one-liners.
This was painful.
Good
and again, so Matt Riddle comes out first, and he's got Randy said don't do anything stupid, so naturally he has balloons on all 4 posts, and he's got his scooter and all that stupid shit. And Randy comes. Oh, sorry, there's lightning in Chicago. But Randy comes and he just stops. And Randy's entrance was great, just looking like what the fuck am I even doing here? And so I have another note where I once again said I love Corey Graves, and I remember exactly why, because he just buries Byron Saxton nonstop, and I love it. So Corey Graves, he said something like he's got Randy Orton's coming out here looking at balloons, and Byron Saxton was like, everyone loves balloons. Then Corey Graves, I think this is one of the lines of the night. He's like, yeah, everyone loves balloons, and then they turn 6. Byron, oh god, I love Corey Graves. I love Corey Graves.
That's good stuff.
So let's see. Randy gets in after Matt Riddle cuts a god awful promo, and I really made a big revelation about Matt Riddle's character. But first, I'm really glad Randy is not indulging in any of this crap. I'm glad he's not grabbing the balloons, and I'm glad he's not even really looking at Matt Riddle. He's just he's almost healing. He's just pissed off. He's not what the fuck am I doing here? And then Matt Riddle cut. I had the revelation when he starts telling Randy how to open and close a scooter. His character is not a stoner. His character is a 5-year-old boy. He doesn't talk like a stoner. I know plenty of stoners. I've been around tons of people that have smoked a bunch of weed. They don't talk like this, but I've also been around a lot of 5-year-olds that talk exactly like he does. His character does not talk like he's high. He talks like a 5-year-old. I hated everything about this.
It's a scooter.
I really I hated. I cannot say how I hated everything about this. I want Matt Riddle released. I really do. I don't want to see this guy. I don't want to see this guy ever again. I'm perfectly fine with his match. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with his matches. He's fine in the ring, and we'll get to that. But I hope that I don't know who gave him a mic, but they ought to be ashamed of themselves. He should never talk again. That was awful. That was just awful.
Okay, so I'm the resident at Wrestle Point. I am the resident Riddle fan here. Yeah. I think he's great. I did not like the segment on Monday.
Okay.
I did not think it was good. I thought it was very when you tease something on the SummerSlam that said, I got a surprise for you, you're thinking it's much cooler than a goddamn scooter. I mean, you could have thought of anything. Anything at all. I just I didn't enjoy the segment. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think any segment was really good on the show, to be honest.
There was one really good one that got ruined by Alexa Bliss.
I think Riddle is a much better wrestler than you guys give him credit for.
No, I think he's a good. No, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get into it with the match, but I actually think in the ring, I think he's actually I don't even think he's just good. I think he's pretty damn good. But I don't want him to ever talk again. I can't listen to him.
I do really think he's a top 5 wrestler on Raw.
I'm not going to. I won't necessarily agree, but I won't necessarily disagree. That's one of those things that I have to think about. But I wouldn't discount it because I'm not going to jump ahead too much. But I will say I really liked what he did in the closing match. I did really like what he was doing.
I was gonna.
Hi, Dom. Do you have anything on?
Yeah, I was gonna ask a question, like pathetic. It was an actual question. So with Biddle, and we talked about Ricochet having bad mic skills. I think because they're prominent indie wrestlers, that they would lack the mic skills in terms against somebody like who is like grown from WWE.
See now, I wouldn't even consider Riddle an indie.
But he came from the indie.
But he wasn't on indies for very long.
Yeah, he was on the he was in the UFC. That's where everybody knows him from.
I'm gonna look at him because I remember him in a couple bowlers.
But I do get what you're saying. I don't think Riddle's bad on the mic. I just think his character annoys people.
Are you gonna say he's good on the mic then?
I don't think he's bad on the mic at all. Actually,
I mean he's for what they want his gimmick to be. I suppose that like for how they want him to sound, I'm sure he's fine. If they said Riddle go out there and sound like a complete bumbling idiot, he did a really good job. But he at least his delivery is fine for what his gimmick is, I suppose. I'm not going to say anything about him if I think he's necessarily good or bad on the mic until I hear him cut like a serious promo.
Yeah. I have this. All I have to say. He debuted on February 7th, 2015. By the way.
In wrestling.
In pro wrestling, yes.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
How is it not accurate? I just looked it up on Google.
Because he was in the UFC in 2018.
I said pro wrestling.
Yeah, but you just said 2015. He wasn't getting any WWE deal in 2015. I mean, before he came to UFC. That's how.
Middle?
Yeah.
I'm saying he wasn't. That's why I'm saying he was an indie guy, and then he came to NXT.
Let's just get to the main event.
I'm gonna. Okay, the main event was Riddle against AJ.
AJ Styles. Eric, you can go with this match.
Yeah. So before we get into the match, just quickly, the way the match came about, as any WWE fan will expect, they're cutting the promo, they're doing the celebration. AJ and Amos interrupt, and they say a bunch of crap, and it leads to a match. And yeah, so Riddle versus AJ Styles. This obviously it was the match of the night. It was a good match. I can say all I want about how much I hate Riddle as a character, but at the end of the day, and I even wrote it, I said if he just didn't talk and just wrestled, I'd probably love him because I love his style. He's a striker, and I naturally like strikers, but he's also a really good striker. Like he does really good work. He's pretty clean. At a certain point in the match, he countered the Styles clash with I believe a triangle. Yeah, it was with a triangle, and that was really cool. And what else? Sorry, I wrote a couple of things that he did. Yeah, and then he countered the calf killer into his rear naked choke. It was really nice. It's like if his gimmick wasn't so insufferable, I would love this guy because he does a good job in the ring. Like I mean, it's AJ Styles. AJ Styles can get a good match out of anybody, but
yeah,
but at the same time, you can tell when AJ's having to carry a guy to a good match. He didn't have to carry Riddle. Riddle more than held his own in this match. Just really, really clean work by both guys. I loved the back and forth. I didn't like. Oh, my heart broke when Randy actually picked up the damn scooter and hit him. Oh God, I couldn't believe it. I wrote in my notes, "Damn it, Randy, put the goddamn scooter down." But
have you ever been hit by a scooter? It hurts.
Probably hurts a lot. But yeah, so they have this really good back and forth. They had Matt Riddle. He actually won. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. I definitely haven't seen this in a long time. I forget what move he got hit with, but AJ goes for a pin and he doesn't do a kick out that we're used to seeing where he flails the arms or where he has to kind of like lean back, and then he literally his arms were down to the side and he bridged to get his shoulders out, and it really I don't think I've ever seen that before, and I think that was a really, really good. It's a weird thing to say, a really good kick out, but I think it really put over that he legit, you could believe that he might have actually lost there, and that it really did look like a last gasp effort to kick out. I thought it was really, really nice. And then Randy, Omos is gearing up to interfere. Randy gets the scooter, hits Omos with it a couple times, and Riddle wins off the distraction. I just, again, breaks my heart that Randy's going to indulge in any way with the nonsense. But, you know what? Really solid main event match. I guess the right guy won. My only thing is I think beating AJ is kind of weird because we know, or at least we're pretty sure that they're not done and they're going to get their rematch. And if AJ is going to lose the first match, where do we go from here? You know,
Well,
how can they justify getting the title shot if AJ's just lost? You know,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
my only
AJ
thing.
defeated Riddle before, didn't he?
He did. I believe
that was before they lost the title.
And then maybe now I'm just explaining to us. I'm trying to convince myself that AJ have a chance of retaining the title, which I'm pretty sure
they'll find a way. They'll find a way for them to get the rematch and have it make sense. I just think it would be easier. I think it pushes the rematch a little bit more when AJ says, "I beat you once. I already beat you once." Then he beats him again. Then he's like, "Now I've beaten you twice. You don't deserve those titles. Let's do this again." I think that's just a more. I think that's just a more real, not even realistic. I think that's just a more effective way to do it. I think unless this is all leading to some sort of a Moss face turn or heel turn to split them up, but I don't think that's necessarily the move, especially not now.
There is a question that said, "Do you see an AJ and Omos split?" I don't right now, just because there's not a lot of tag teams that are on the brand.
And that's a kind of. Go ahead.
I was gonna say eventually, but what are they gonna actually fight over?
Pride. Anyone.
If you wanted to make a split happen, you could have teased it after the week before they lost and actually losing, and then you could go into that. But I don't think Omos is ready for a singles run.
Yeah. And the way with these types of pairings, this definitely, if there's going to be a split, because obviously a split up is going to lead to a singles feud between the two. That's usually something WWE likes to do around Mania season. I think Omos versus AJ Styles would be something they might want to save for WrestleMania if they really are confident that Omos can come out of it and be in line for a big singles push if he's ready for that. So that's a very specific scenario, obviously. But it's not there's nothing fueling the split right now. All they did was lose the titles. I can't recall any time where AJ's yelled at Omos, belittled him. I don't recall anything like that, and that's usually with these pairings. I almost want to say if and when they do split, I almost want to say Omos might come out the babyface just based on just because of the dynamic. Because of the dynamic, it was the same with Kevin Nash. When Kevin Nash turned,
I remember that, man.
Kevin Nash turned babyface. The Giant might goes babyface in time, and based on this dynamic, the dynamic they have, AJ is the clear heel.
I can see that, but I don't think it would be smart. I think it would be smart if he almost got the heat just because there's a lot more people to deal with as a heel rather than.
Definitely, with their current dynamic, AJ is the clear heel, and Omos is just the muscle that's doing what AJ says. That's why I feel like
I really want AJ out of this tag team. He's just so good that I'm obviously not a Drew McIntyre fan right now, but I'd rather see AJ versus Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules than a lot of matches that are going to happen at Extreme Rules.
That would be nice of AJ to get a pin on, not to get pinned by McIntyre. AJ to do.
Yeah.
And so we're coming up on 2 hours. Let's not divert too much from because we're almost done. Do you guys have anything to say about the main event of this week's Raw?
I'm ready to watch next Raw, hoping it's gonna be better. But
I do have to say this: there is a lot of new matches advertised for next week's Raw. There's
what matches are
that we haven't seen before? Yeah, there's 3 or 4 that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
So that either means we're getting on the right path here, or we're just going to see the matches that are advertised next week 4 more times.
Well, speaking of advertising matches, I wish I remembered this at the time. Before that, before the segment where Nikki ASH was talking to Rhea and asking her, because the segment was her asking Rhea if she wants to tag against Nia and Shayna, even though during what was the match before that? Was the match before that segment The Miz and Xavier Woods? I think it was.
Which one? I think Mansoor and
it was. So we had that. So it was the Mansoor Jinder Mahal match. During the Mansoor and Jinder Mahal match, they literally had a graphic advertising that match, and then 20 minutes later had a segment where she was asking her to tag for a match that's already been confirmed where they're tagging together. Again, just going back to how poorly formatted the show is.
Oh yes.
Yes, I mean, yeah. If you guys don't have anything to add about the main event, I'll tell you guys. I've told you guys already, but 3 hours of Raw, when we got 41 minutes and 40 seconds of wrestling. So on this 3-hour wrestling show, less than a quarter of the show is spent with wrestling, and it's
great stuff.
You don't realize how long. You really don't realize how long 3 hours is until you try to sit through Raw. This was in the moment watching the AJ Styles Matt Riddle match, I couldn't fully enjoy it because I've been sitting through so much crap for so long.
But on the other hand, Raw is like the B show, obviously.
Yeah.
I not to jump ahead, but I am very excited for SmackDown this week.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that are going to be happening.
I'm really disappointed because I'm in Chicago until Sunday, so I'm not going to be able to watch SmackDown. I can't watch Rampage. This might end up being my only appearance on the show this week. And I'm really bummed because I'm really excited for Rampage and for SmackDown, but I'm probably not going to be able to watch them until I get home, which will be well after we record the reviews.
Yeah. I think Brock Lesnar would be there. Becky Lynch. I guess rumors have it Becky Lynch is going to be a heel now.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe that's why they squashed, or I don't know.
Lot to say about it, but I want to reserve it until Friday since that's a Friday.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen it. It's not happened yet, but I think we're good. If no one else has anything to say,
yeah.
Oh yeah, just I'm so excited. I'm obviously really happy that we're in the podcast world now. If it's something, but then you quickly realize, God damn it means I got to watch Raw every week. Because you can get away. I've been getting away for a long time watching just the parts of Raw that I want to watch, which is Bobby Lashley, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and that's really it for the most part. Depending on the time of year, the tag team division's watchable, but you can get away with watching a cumulative 20 minutes of Raw, but not when you're in this business. You got to watch all 3 hours. You got to watch the good. You got to watch the bad. You got to watch the horrific. And unfortunately, there's at least this week.
A lot of.
I'm not going to. I'm not gonna. Hopefully, I'm not manifesting anything bad here. But yeah, this week at least, there was a lot of bad. But they're capable of putting on good shows. They do it once a week. They put on a good show. It just happens to be SmackDown. So I always come into Raw with hope that it's going to be good. But then it's tough. It's tough after so long.
It's tough. Well, I want to leave it out with a beautiful picture. The beautiful image that we got gifted from WWE. I guess thank you for watching. Really was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We'll be back Saturday at 10 o'clock to do a SmackDown review, talk about Rampage. We're excited for it. We're excited to get more content out. So